Welcome to Car House. This is a three-pedal podcast. I'm Al Richards. We have Mike Palumbo.
Hola.
And Dan Pendleton.
Hello.
And we're back for part 2 with Ryan LeBlanc. We're going to talk about cars this time instead of car audio. So thanks for listening, and if it's your first time, welcome. And if not, thanks for coming back. And
welcome to the Car Podcast, where we talk about cars.
Yes. This is what you came for. And yeah, all right. Well, did you have a couple more random questions or?
Yes. About car audio. Well, just Boomer in general. Well, we were just kind of talking about it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
the pause, but yeah. So I was curious about. You said you had 6 techs. I was curious on how you guys get paid because custom stuff. We talked to Doug, and we've talked to some other people about the custom stuff. It's always a little tricky on. But you said that the guys are technically flat rate.
Yeah, so I've made my own flat rate book over the years. And it covers like basic stuff like speakers, amplifiers, head units. A couple of things that we do like a lot of. And we've kind of come out with a, I don't know, it hits the fair price like the majority of the time. Every so often a car may be a little difficult or something and it doesn't. But for the most part, the guys can make a flat rate just like you guys can make a flat rate. And then there's some things that are outside of that, like troubleshooting, or somebody wants to get really elaborate with something, or like custom fabrication, like new door panels, new A-pillars, trunk installs.
Mustang dashboards.
Yep, Mustang dashboards. Jesus, that thing. I ate shit on that one. That was before I even knew what I was doing.
Yeah, I remember he brought me upstairs and showed me the final product, but he basically made a dashboard from scratch for like an old Fox body.
Yeah.
Wow.
Completely ate shit on that quote because the guy wanted it and Jamie sold it. My partner Jamie can sell anything.
Really?
But that was like at the beginning of getting really involved in custom, and it was like he came to me with, this is the project, and I said, I think I can do it in this, and it took me like twice that, and we just kind of ate shit on it. But now we've kind of gotten, I've gotten way better at knowing like what I can build, and when something's of that scale, we can kind of go, okay, I guarantee you, man, you're going to be starting at this, but you got to be flexible within something.
Right.
And if somebody comes back with a concern like, well, if it's going to be more than this, like I really need to know. And we can kind of communicate along the way. Those projects are so far and few between that it's not a big deal. You know, like one we did today, I did a light bar, and the quote was 4 hours, and I think it ended up taking closer to 6. And that's an hourly thing. It's what it takes.
Yeah.
Same with troubleshooting. Hey,
do the guys feel like they are like making fair compensation for the work they're doing, or is there, I know there's politics everywhere.
Yeah, there's definitely politics. Yeah. So it depends on the guy and the job, and a lot of times like I'll have to pull them aside and just be like, be honest with me. Are you sore about this one job because you had a hard time with it, versus I don't know the last 20 that you all went super smooth and you made out great on.
Well, that's flat rate though.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're going to eat shit on something eventually.
Yep.
Like you never win on everything.
Me and Dan were kind of talking before this, and I try to be as fair with my guys as I can. Even if I can't charge the customer, if you can explain to me why this one didn't fall into the window of flat rate, I want to take care of my guys on it because nobody's going to be perfect.
Yeah, so what do you do in that situation? Do you just internalize the pay?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's see. Somebody that cares.
My manager does the same thing. He'll put 2 hours on the board.
Yep.
We used to have a board. The board's gone now. But he's like, oh, well, throw it on the board. Or, hey, I need you to do this. We're not charging the customer. Just do it. I'll tell me how long it takes you, and I'll deal with it. Cause
that kind of thing happens to us a lot.
Yeah. But throwing a couple hours on the board for your hourly rate versus charging the customer $250 an hour for 2 hours worth of work, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. For him, throwing
for
50,
us,
$60, $70 out, it's not a big deal.
I would say the big thing that catches us is my guys work 4 days a week, 10-hour days. So you can't always get the same tech on a car. And obviously you have to take care of the customer concern first. So it's like, okay, I know you didn't do this job. This isn't just like everybody has to fix like defective product, and it's fine. And you don't get really compensated for that. Like if an amp goes bad and you got to swap it, it's just what it is. But if it's like, okay, this job was done and now this other problem popped up and now you're dealing with it, we can't really charge for it. I'll just be like, hey, keep track how much time you spend on it and we'll take care of you on it.
Yeah. So there's no warranty on labor for what you guys do? Really?
Yes and no. So
Well, not from you, but like from the product supplier.
no.
That sucks.
Yeah, so all products carry whatever the manufacturer's warranty are, and sometimes they'll add like an extra 6 months or a year onto it if it's installed by us, just as an incentive.
Because you use their products frequently.
Yeah.
So you have pretty good relationships with...
Yeah, the vendors that we stock, we have great relationships on.
Who are they?
JL Audio,
Okay.
Kenwood, Focal, Mosconi, Rockford, some Sony, but we don't carry a huge variety of their stuff. Stinger, they do a lot of like integration radios. They're more like entry level for like integration radios. I think like I feel like the Kenwood is a step up for integration stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. We offer lifetime warranty on all our labor. So for mistakes.
Okay.
So like say somebody installs, it's super rare, but a set of speakers and the solder joint went bad, and that's what the fix was. We would warranty that. But if the speakers are, that's not a good one. Like, say like your amplifier goes bad out of warranty, and now it's like we're not just one for one. Say we're doing a whole new amp, that wouldn't be covered, kind of thing, because it's new work, and there's no warranty on the product, and there's nothing wrong with the original work. It's just now we have to reconfigure the wiring for that kind of stuff.
Right.
But if it was like a bad head unit for a bad head unit, we would just be swapping it.
Yeah. So you guys do have to internalize some of the
stuff. Okay, like say like you swap from one head unit to another, and you had a legit complaint with it, and we couldn't address the complaint. We would probably be maybe making you make up the difference between the head units if we couldn't get a manufacturer to give us a kickback, and we probably wouldn't be charging for the labor to swap it, and I would just cover my guys for it if it was a big thing. Sometimes the head unit's just you unplug it and you plug it back in. That wouldn't be, but like if you had to rewire a bunch of things or swap an accessory, yeah.
The other question was, besides car audio, do you guys, we had talked, do you do tint, obviously.
Yeah. Our primary is car audio, but it's really car accessories. So we do a fair amount of tint.
Some fish tanks.
I haven't done any fish tanks. But we do accessories. So all kinds of lighting, CarPlay interfaces, undercar lighting. We don't do a ton, but we do it.
Underglow.
Yeah.
Underglow is actually making a comeback, and
I've been seeing it.
It hurts me, but we do a decent.
It kind of looks good on certain cars.
I do it on the Skyline.
The worst thing is the bro trucks.
Yeah,
with the fender well lighting.
Yeah,
oh my god, it's
or
the
the lights
worst.
in the rims.
And it's the wheels; they don't fit.
Yeah,
There's just
like a 24 by 14s with 325 20s on it. Yes,
it's not my thing.
Yes,
but
in your Chevy 2500 that should be towing 17,000 pounds, that will now blow a tire off the bead, putting a bag of mulch in the back.
What about the low pro like knobbies? That's weird.
Those are weird.
Yeah, I saw some of those the other day.
Oh, bad.
No, but yeah, we do
Everybody's got their shit.
we do wheels and tires and some like truck accessories like bed covers, running boards, lift kits, stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Air ride.
Yeah, not a
You
ton.
will do it.
Not a ton, but we do some air ride. Actually, I just
guys-
had to service a set of front struts the other day.
Do you guys deal with bag riders ever?
I don't know where we're buying it from. I buy all my accessories through them because they're like next day. Like if I need like a handful of
you
fittings.
can't beat that.
I think it's Will. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the business relationship is, but I think it's Lowrider Depot.
Yep.
I don't know if it's through them,
Yeah.
but
I think Tim Connors uses them.
Tim Connors.
Yeah.
He's friends with.
whether we're buying from somebody that uses them, but a lot of our air ride stuff gets shipped in from them.
Yeah, they're probably one of the drop shippers.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't say we do a ton, but I'd say at least one or two setups a year.
You know what's funny? I think they're doing a 3.6 swap. The guy that owns that
What?
Lowrider Depot.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw him, I was talking to him at one of that show up in was it not Ludlow?
Yeah.
Rutland.
Yeah. Oh.
Eurobuilt.
Yep.
It was last year
Yep.
when I finished the Golf R. And he was asking me questions about the 3.6 swap, and they're doing it in something, maybe a Mark IV.
Yeah,
But-
it's crazy how easy that's getting to be. Like everybody does tunes and
So I
harness
did
swaps.
mine in 2018.
I know you were like right on the forefront of it.
I remember, and honestly, I had so many issues, but it was because, full transparency, I used the Porsche manifold with a throttle body adapter. I think it was 9 something performance that makes it the adapter for the Porsche manifold to the VW throttle body, because I used a BLV engine from a 3.6 Passat, or maybe but it might have been a Touareg. I forget. It was lying around in the shop, and I was like, "Is this any good?" Turned out it was like a 50,000 mile motor.
Oof.
With like that intermediate shaft issue.
Oh, okay.
So
I know
the
you were
bolt-
telling me about that.
Yeah.
I haven't addressed mine, but
But anyways, I had to cut a paper gasket, and I think it was just one night where I was like, I had to cut it, and then I like just test fit it and like put it in, and then never remembered to cut the hole. So me and Doug Pauly were trying to like work through like why it wouldn't run. It would just start and die, and it was like, yeah, I figured it out, Doug. I never cut the hole, so there was no air getting into the engine. So I went back and forth, and I remember talking to him about like, well, so I ended up wiring it so it was like there's 2 ECM power supply relays. Like I did it exactly the way that the Volkswagen is powered. So I have a little sub panel, which is cool, and I have all the existing like. But it was just, and it always runs great. I did end up using a Golf R throttle pedal, and I ended up having issues with that down the road.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
Paul just figured his
He
out.
did. He just put in a Passat pedal,
Yep.
and it works.
Yeah, mine's
perfect.
the Passat. I did Passat everything, but if
But you have
buy
to cut the floor mats and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Well, just, dude, so I'm a Mark IV guy, so. Claim to fame, I guess everybody knows me because I've been in. That's where I started. Was the Mark IV. That was my first, my first Volkswagen, and cutting the floor mats. I mean, that's the original floor mat that came with my car. You know, I bought it in 06. I've had it for almost 20 years now. So it's like cutting the floor mat to put in a Passat pedal. It's just, I know yours is slick and like you could probably make it look clean. Could you stitch it with like the piping and everything?
I imagine you could.
Yeah.
I have an aftermarket set of like the high end formats.
Yep.
And I just cut it.
Yeah,
It looks fine.
I probably should do
But yeah,
that.
TDC shop, they now have a tune that uses like a top hung pedal.
Yep. So it was everybody said, even United said, yep, you can use a Mark 7 Golf R pedal, which is firewall mounted.
Yeah.
But then years went by and it just started giving me issues. So I don't know what happened, but part of the reason why I parked it because I was sick of it. It happened like once, and then it never, like I got no throttle response. Kill the ignition, turn it back on, it would be fine. And then like it didn't happen for like another year or two. And then all of a sudden it started happening more frequently. And I was bringing it to dinner one night with Kim and like my mom. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll take the GTI, right? And then it was like happening all the time. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to park it.
That's why you haven't driven it?
It's one of the
know that.
reasons.
Yeah,
it's one
I
of the
didn't know
reasons.
that.
Plus I had the Y body kit for it. So
Yeah.
I just want to get that done. Yeah, I got a Koenigsetter
Nice.
body kit for it. So, but yeah. Anyways,
right.
I don't even know why we spiraled.
Yeah,
into
it's
that,
it is what it is.
All right.
It
Any
usually
other
happens.
boomer related questions?
I think that's it.
I don't think so. Yeah,
we're
just
pretty good.
I was wondering if you did the air ride a lot, but
Yeah.
it sounds like not as much. But yeah.
Now to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
The reason we're here.
We already kind of got into it with the
Yeah, a
36
little bit.
talk. but-
Let's start off with like first car, like what car like got you
All right. So first car in high school was a Chevy Beretta.
okay
88.
Z24?
No, but it was a V6.
Is it 24 or 28? What are there anybody know?
I think Cavaliers were
Was a
24s
Z24.
and
I think-
Berettas were 28s.
28, yeah.
Mine
No,
is
or
just a
were they?
V6,
Just
not
a
a
Beretta.
fancy one.
Hold on, now I gotta look.
Yeah.
And then I went into a Fox Body Mustang, which at the time was like the fastest shit ever. But in hindsight, they're
GT?
slow pieces of shit. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What year?
88, 89.
So
yeah.
pre
So with like the
Yep.
body kit around it and
Okay.
everything. What happened? I got in an accident with it and I blew the transmission. So I put that aside. I drove my Beretta again, and then I graduated and I had that job at AudioLink that
Yep.
we talked about in the last one. And the first car, when I had money to make car payments, was a 96 GL, 96 Jetta GL.
Okay.
So I had that for a while, probably, maybe like 2 years. And then I was actually, so I graduated and I got a job doing car audio like 2 weeks after I graduated, just on like dumb luck. I did a job
Just
shadow.
fell into
I did a
it.
dumb job shadow for like a weekend at Audio Link. And I went back and I said, hey man, like, I think I want to do this. Like, can I just come by on Saturdays and like work for free? Like, I just want to hang out here and do this. I don't care. And I did it once. And he's like, dude, like you should like just like work here. I'm like, really? So that's how I got my job doing that. And after doing that for a while, I said, I think like by the time I had moved to the Boomer location that was in Manchester, I was actually like making like adult money. I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. So one of the guys that worked with me, he got a GTI VR6.
So Adam.
Nope.
Oh.
Mike Bodette.
Okay.
He's our age.
Yeah. Well, because Adam, he had the red
Yes.
180 swap.
I never worked with Adam.
Oh, okay.
I know of Adam.
He was my neighbor on Merrill Street.
That's right.
So
right.
he was doing the swap like right around the time I moved in.
He worked with the same guy, Rick, out
Yep.
in Keene.
So Rick is Lara's best friend's.
Really?
Lara's best friend's sister is married to Rick. Has
Now?
3 kids. Yeah.
Okay. No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, what a small fucking world.
Yeah. So I've known Rick. I've known Rick since Audio Link
Rick's a good guy.
over in the La Coretta Plaza.
Yeah. So that's the one. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this kid Mike, he had a 2-liter GTI 2, and I think that he got in an accident with it, and he got a VR6 one. And the first time I heard that thing with an exhaust, I was like, oh my god, why do I not have a VR6? Holy shit! And actually, come to think of it, I don't think I got the VR6 until after I left and I was working at Tweeter. Because, I remember, so I got my first VR6 GLX,
Yep.
Ryan GLX, at when I was working at Tweeter. And that's where it started. So
Is that the one that you have now?
Nope.
Okay.
So I've gone through a couple. So I had the GL, and I actually sold it to my little brother.
Sorry.
I sold that one to my little brother. I did a bunch of audio in that.
I didn't realize you had a brother.
Yeah, younger brother Ruben. So that car got like, all the basic stuff, like lowering springs, intake, exhaust, and I sold it to him. And I did a bunch of stereo in it for him, like the old style stuff, like 310s in the rear deck and a big like painted tub in place of a trunk. So there was no trunk. It was just amp rack with a big painted tub.
Yeah.
And I moved on to a GLX, and that was like probably when I first got it, it was like I got my first credit card too, so that was bad. That was a bad idea. So it was suspension, coilovers, intake, exhaust, Schrick cams, and that was fun. It just wasn't that fast. So the first thing I did was the AMS, if anyone can remember, the AMS supercharger.
Yep.
It was like one of the first ones that they did. I don't even think, non-intercooled. So it felt super, super fast, but I think the time I dynoed it, it was like 220 of the wheels. But that was.
But I mean, it's almost
That's
50.
still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still almost 50 horsepower.
I got in so much trouble with that car. That was fun. And it was my favorite driver too. Like it drove better than any turbo car I ever built. And that's where we did all kinds of like stupid things. Like we topped it out. A car full of 4 of us topped it out coming home from Boston racing some guy in a Mustang. Like topped it out.
Supposedly.
Yep.
Non-governed.
Yep. So with the chips, I was like 155-ish.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
We did all the guys from Tully. I told you that story.
Yep.
So again, topped it out like on probably like a 98, like an E36, like M, like the OBD2, like just pushing on him. So it was fast. And the downfall to that was when I decided to go turbo. I did all kinds of stupid like not carbon fiber, but fiberglass body kit stuff on it. I bought an EIP turbo kit, which was the biggest hunk of shit ever.
And it was expensive.
It fit terribly. And actually, one of my good friends had a garage. I don't know if anyone remember Autotech. They were over past the Bud plant.
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, I'm so good friends with the guy that owns it, Craig. And he put it on for me. I did a stereo, and he had like a Mark II. Blew it up the first weekend I had it on the road with the turbo kit. And
they failed as a business.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
Yep.
EIP is like
They
known
were
as.
using, so they were using whatever their chip was in one of those adjustable like high pressure fuel regulators. So it just basically put a shitload of pressure through you didn't even do upgraded injectors. So it was like an intercooled turbo kit without upgraded injectors running like 15 pounds. So it launched, the first weekend I had it, it launched the motor.
Oh no!
And I just said, and I think this is about the time that I started hanging around with like Ian Brandon when he first had DTM, because he worked for us for a little bit, and Doug and everything. And Doug put me on to, I think, Otronic. So out of the blue, I built my own turbo kit. I taught myself to TIG weld and built my own turbo kit from scratch. Manifold, intercooler, everything. I found a place and I bought raw intercooler core. I cut it up on a table saw. I welded my own end tanks. I built a full intercooler kit, and I did standalone. I had this guy that was out of Mass somewhere tune it for me. And that thing was fun. And I think, I can't remember what setup I had on it. I blew that engine one more time.
Because it was. Is this the one you were telling me? It was you had stock bottom end, and then you went forged, and it blew up.
And that blew up again.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. Because I think it was Doug that told me to go and use down near Otterson Street. There's like a machine shop down there.
Where is that? In Nashua?
Yeah, Nashua, off of Main Street. There's a machine shop down there.
Oh, yeah. That's where we send our shit.
Nashua Engine?
Yeah. It's some old guy. He was just an old.
It's down the back alley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an old curmudgeon, and like took forever to do it. And it was forged pistons, and it ended up blowing up again. And I think I finally put it together.
What'd you find on that? Did you tear it down?
Like blowing this like quarter-sized chunks out of the side of the pistons.
So the ring gap was probably.
It's either that or the detonation was out of control because the tops of all the pistons were melted down too. Like you could see, you could see pitting on all of them.
I mean, was it the tune? It had to have been.
Yeah, it had to have been the tune.
Yeah. So you don't think it was his fault?
The machinist, no, he was just an old.
Okay, so it wasn't the ring gap then.
Yeah, I don't know. You got me.
No. If you blow the ring lands, it wasn't like the ring lands were blown out.
No, but I think the detonation was causing that.
Yeah.
No, I think he was just a miserable old man to deal with. That's all. I don't think he did bad work. It was very nice. It ran great. But I think so after that happened, I put it back together, stock bottom end, stainless spacer, kind of like the setup that I gave you.
The 12.
Yeah. So, and I think I was still running the Otronic at the time. And I drove it for like probably a year or two, and it was good. It was fast. It just never idled right. I could never get the standalone to idle right. And I always want AC in my cars because I like being comfortable. And it just never worked right. But I drove that car everywhere. Like I actually, Doug Pauley story, I drove it to Florida. I drove to Waterfest, drove it to Florida, hung out with a buddy down there for a while, drove around, blew third gear out of the transmission the last night on our way home from a bar.
Really?
Just hammering on it.
I was going to say, he's probably just beating the shit out of these things.
How much boost?
15, 16 pounds. No differential.
Oh, okay.
So just like banging through the gears. Hit third gear went away.
O2A.
Yeah. Yep. So I called up Doug. I'm like, hey, do you know anybody down here? And he sent me, he had a spare transmission at the time. He sent it down, but he didn't have the axle cups in it. So when it got to the shop that it was at, all the internals fell apart, I guess. Oh, shit. So like I'm trying to remember. This is a good story. So it happened. I flew home the next day because all my friends were leaving. I'm like, well, I'm going to leave this at my buddy's house down here. Doug set me up with the transmission, shipped it to this guy. I had the car towed to the guy. And when I got there, he went to install it for me. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm doing this all on credit cards too at the time. And he tells me about the axle cups. And I called Doug. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? He's like, oh, shit. He knew exactly what it was. So I called that guy back. And he's like, I can get you another transmission down here. I can do the swap. And I do this. And I fly back down again to Florida, get the car, drive it home.
Oh, shit.
But drove that. And I had it for a couple years. And this 1 year, I was living out in Peterborough. And either the wastegate or the wastegate like controller failed, so it wasn't opening, so it would just full boost all the time. And I remember when my roommate at the time, we were coming home, and some dipshit in like a V8 like pickup tried passing me on
Mistake.
Yeah, whatever the road is,
You will pay.
Whatever the road that goes from like Wilton into Lineborough, there's like a passing zone, and I just stood on it. So like 20 something pounds of boost on it, and it never made it.
No diff.
No diff at the time.
Okay.
Diff at the time. But that run, so it was like way more boost than it was tuned for,
Yeah.
and it blew up again. We got it home, and it just never ran right. Like I think we went back out up and down the street. I'm like, why is this? It doesn't feel right. And it blew up, and I couldn't get it to start again after we got it back to the house. So that was the end of that car. I took all the parts out. I sold whatever stuff, and I cut the car up into pieces and threw it away. And I was like, God damn it. At the time, I had gotten my original GL back from my brother because he was getting rid of it. I'm like, well, I have no car anymore. So I drove that around for a while. I swapped, I think, all the running gear into it. So I 5-lug swapped that car. And then throughout the course of like the next year or so, a friend turned me on to a friend of a friend that had a supercharged VR6 out of Connecticut. I drove down there. I bought it from him. Red with all yellow Wings West accessories. It looked McDonald's colors.
Ketchup mustard.
Oh, yeah. So I got it back to the house.
Do you have pictures of that?
Somewhere.
I want to see that.
I'll have to dig it up.
Yeah, I want to see
But
that.
yeah, so picture like the old Wings West whip
Yep.
kit, all yellow on a red car.
Wow.
Red and yellow, like race seats in it.
Okay.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. So I swapped in whatever stuff I had left over.
You kept it? You drove it like that?
Oh, no. As
okay.
soon as it got back to the house, I ripped all the shit off it. What stuff stayed on it, like the lips, I think I painted black.
You had the Wings West stuff?
Yeah, for a while.
Oh, okay. Not the car you have now.
No.
Okay, all right.
So this car I had, and I had it like almost straightened up.
What year is this?
Oh God, this is this. Jesus. I don't know. This is a minimum of 15 years ago because it was before I was even dating Jen.
And are these all Jettas?
Yeah, all Jettas.
Why?
'Cause
No
I just-
GTIs.
No GTIs. I just love the Jetta.
Hey. Fuck
Just-
yeah.
just love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then you made... Well,
Okay, so
Yeah,
we
we're-
won't spoil, we
yeah,
won't
yeah.
spoil
okay,
it.
so
but-
so it goes on. So this is this red thing. Supercharged is fast. I'm driving around having fun with it. I squared away all the yellow shit, and then I had most of whatever black car. So the first GLX was a black one.
Yeah.
So whatever black stuff I had from this one, I swapped into it. Like I think I still had the wheels, and I still had the original, maybe like some of the seats. And I drove it around for a while, and then whatever tires, I want to say it's. We'll talk shit on some tires. Some Yokohama tires, I think. Every time I drove this in the wet, I got into an accident. I had them on the first one with the fiberglass kit, wet, just slid off the road like a big puddle.
no.
And they're not. And they're not.
Was
like,
it the good old S drives?
they're not like bald, shitty ones. They were new
Probably.
ones. But this one, I was coming around a corner, and the ass end just went out on me, and I hit a tree on the passenger side, and it pushed like the B pillar almost like halfway through the seat.
Oof.
So the car still ran. So I got it back to the house, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to fucking do now. I'm going to find another car. I can't remember what I drove around in the meantime, but I had that car. I had it towed to my buddy Craig's new shop, and he's like, yeah, you can part it out here. I found another GLX. I can't remember what it had on it. It was basically just like stock, but with like some wheels and suspension. So I took the motor out, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to swap the motor in like it is. And somewhere along the line, I took it apart. I don't know why I took the bottom end of that supercharged motor apart. Two of the pistons were shaped like bananas. The rods were shaped like bananas, and this thing still ran, and it was super fast.
I've heard stories like that.
So
Really?
Yeah.
So
I've
somebody
heard
must have hydrolocked the original motor before I even got it, and then somehow unseized it.
And it was running.
It ran. It was super fast.
Do you guys remember the Battle of the Builds car that he went against Wolfscart?
The
blue
green,
car.
blue, yeah. It was you,
Kyle's
the
car.
Harlequin.
Yeah, that one.
So that car was black
Yep,
originally.
yep.
He said the same thing. That car ran mint, turbocharged. Like, I think he pulled a junkyard motor originally at one point. And he said that thing was making like 400 horse. And then they pulled the head and the pistons. It was the same thing. It was like They were fucked. Like the engine was fucked. Like it had low compression and 2 cylinders. But it still
was ran perfect.
A rowdy ass fucking car to drive. It's just like,
I don't know what made me want to pull it apart. I don't know if I was just being like anal. I'm like, well, if I'm going to swap this motor, why don't I rebuild the whole bottom end? Yeah, two of the rods were shaped like a banana. So you got to.
That's wild.
Those cast rods don't like more than like 400 torque, I guess. But
so that was the red car going into the current black car. So I decided not to supercharge it. I sold the supercharger to somebody that worked for me at the time, who I had given my old turbo kit to. He gave me the turbo kit back, and I put the turbo setup back into the black car, which is now my current car. United Motorsports, head gasket spacer, and ARP hardware, stock bottom end, and that thing is the fastest, best running car I've ever had. Unfun to drive because it's so fast, but my guess is it was 20 to 22 pounds of boost, probably making 4 to 450 wheel horse with a diff, so it's kind of drivable, but it's just, it takes so long to get into boost, and it's so uncontrollable when it hits boost. It's just not fun.
Are you talking about Adam's setup?
Yeah. Oh no,
the one before that.
Okay.
I sold that setup to some other kid who I don't know if you know Chris Cheeseman up in Burlington. Big guy. He's got a baby blue Mark II with a super fast turbo setup on it. He's got Cheeseworks.
I think if I saw the car.
Yeah, it's a 4-door Mark II on snowflakes.
Okay.
He knew that he ended up working on that kid's car, and that kid blew his car up with that setup on it.
Oh shit.
But he got rid of that setup because it sucked to drive.
Yep.
And built the one that Adam got.
So the timeline is, that car was a black 4-door, turbocharged, fun. I started doing a couple little things, like I did the dash and the Mark 6 steering wheel swap in it. And somewhere along the way, I don't know, it was like that for maybe like 2 years. I started thinking about coupes, and I remember watching Doug build 2 of them.
Like Polly.
And I'm like, I thought it was this big crazy thing. Like I'm thinking Doug is like he is some kind of rocket scientist or something.
I say that about you though.
Yeah, to put this shit together.
You guys are 2 peas in a pod, man.
Yeah. So I start looking into it, and I found people on Vortex that are like documenting it. And I'm like, this really isn't that complicated. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna make a coupe. I want to do a coupe. So I built a coupe out of this Jetta. God, it was fast. It was like maybe 6 months start to finish. I didn't do a full bay shave, but I did do a color change in the bay.
No, was this at your current house?
No, actually.
Or were you renting a shop? Or
no, my buddy John.
Toilet.
Yep.
Toilet John.
Toilet.
You don't know Toilet John?
John Malcolmson.
So he bought. So
wait, John Malcolmson.
Yeah, Ben's supercharged 2-liter that he had. That's John's old car. I helped him do a bunch of shit.
Ben had it for a hot minute.
It was a gloss black, Brenner charged 2-liter.
Okay.
I did a bunch of stuff on that car for him, and he let me use his garage for a winter. He had a heated garage out in New Ipswich.
Okay.
So I spent like 40 hours a week at his garage. I'd do like long days on the weekends and a couple nights.
Yeah.
But I built it over the course of 6 months, start to finish. So that was cool. Rough.
Yeah.
But it was done. And I did like some of the interior stuff once I got it back to my shop. And I think like the first year they did Alpha Class at Wolfgar, that was the first show I had it done for. And it was great. And I just didn't like driving that turbo setup was the thing. So I sold it to that kid, and I built the one that you now have on Adam's car at your house.
Yeah.
And what that was is it's about the same boost potential turbo, but it spools up so much faster. The hot side is much, much smaller.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of research on that turbo because the hot side's smaller, right? So it spools quicker, but the compressor side is still pretty large.
Yeah, like it'll hit full boost by like 2 to like 2,500.
Perfect.
But it was making less boost. Like it topped out at around like 16 the way I had it. But I built a liquid cooled manifold, kind of like the HPA setup that they sell.
Yep.
Where the intercooler is liquid cooled and is part of the intake. And I built this crazy setup where the charge pipe is like 6 inches long, and then it goes into the intercooler, and that was fun. It spooled fast, but the same thing. It just, I don't know.
You didn't like that car? I thought you liked it.
I did like it, but it just. I'm always chasing that first supercharged VR6 and how it felt. I just wanted it to be a little faster. That's
you wanted the linear power.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And so that's sort of my concern with that setup, because now it's in a Rabbit.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna spool
it's gonna
quick.
be silly fast. You know, you could probably put more time into it than I was willing to do and invest in maybe different wastegate springs,
Yeah,
or
that's what
like
we
a
were-
boost controller, and try to manipulate it a little more. I did it. I built it. I spent so much time
Well,
building this thing.
FYI, we are literally using the exact same setup you're using.
Yeah.
So we're going to be using the Bosch ECU with
Yeah.
the exact chip and
That-
everything.
that
And
works
you said
so
it worked
good.
great.
So good.
I think Adam took your word on that,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Let's go for it." And
It
you know what?
never
I'm excited
stumbled.
about
It never didn't start. The only issue I ever had with the ECU was the first gen C2 chips that I got. I think
Yeah.
it has a United in it now. It would fall out of the socket.
Yeah, the solder.
So- No, they
well, it's like
actually-
a clip-in.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And I would pull that ECU open just to check, but I think I put a dot RTV just to hold it in place.
Yeah.
But they
Did you
sent-
have it in the cowl?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's going to be mounted interior now. So
Yeah,
it's better.
I got a newer chip, and I don't know if it was from C2 or from United, but it never gave me the issue after that.
Honestly,
In that
talking
car-
to him about this whole setup, I was always giving Adam shit. I'm like, why don't we go standalone? And now I'm kind of well, it might
No
not
reason
run
to
as
change
well,
it.
honestly, because unless you go for a newer ECU,
And he
like
daily,
a factory.
I mean, he drove it
Yeah,
daily,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Adam's not going to drive it every day. So it's just going to be like a Sunday ripper, and it is what it is.
But I mean, that car drove everywhere.
Yeah.
I drove it out to Cult Classic out in PA. I drove it down to Jersey a bunch of times.
It looks sick, too.
H2O.
What was really
Not
trick about,
trailering it, it drove the entire way.
I like your setup with the crossbar that was the coolant bottle
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was really cool.
I had him make me
Yeah,
one
it
for the
was
market.
sick.
Kind of did away with that. In the
Yeah,
new
and it
setup,
was very
but-
clean, the way it looks. So he repowder coated everything gray, obviously. But it's it's definitely an intricate. You built it, so
Yeah,
we've always talked about when I get to the point where we're actually putting that together. But I did test fit the exhaust. It's really not that far off.
All right.
The downpipe fits through the tunnel, which is crazy because you think about a 79 Rabbit compared to a newer Jetta or Mark.
Yeah.
Mark
Well, the
III.
other thing that's different about this turbo setup is it's everyone you see, it's opposite. So the exhaust exits on the passenger side instead of the driver's side. It's kind of like the turbo's upside down from most VR6s that you see.
Oh, all right.
And that's
Yeah, yeah.
and that's to get that really short charge path. And
No
maybe that's
shit.
just beneficial to it.
Yeah, I had to dig really deep into Precision's information because that turbo is not bespoke, but it's very you definitely picked this turbo for this.
Yeah,
setup.
when I build it, I called in and said this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And I think the big holdup on this one, and maybe I would have liked it more, is it didn't seem to have. It felt like spooling like a KO3, beyond 5500. It just feels like
It falls off.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's where you were talking about the wastegate spring.
Yeah, maybe you could make the boost spool a little more linear and not
Yeah.
have that happen.
Yeah.
But again, I did it, and I'm like, God, this isn't what. And I kept seeing 3.6 swaps, and I'm like, why am I not on this? And you had yours going. I'm like,
Yes.
God, why am I not doing this? And I feel like I had. Which order did it go? Somebody was giving me shit for doing all of that work and not doing all-wheel drive, and I said, well, maybe I'll start keeping an eye out for parts, and I'll start piecing together an all-wheel drive setup from an R32. And just dumb luck, when Craigslist was still a thing or Vortex was still a thing, somebody listed an entire R32 drivetrain from up in New York for dirt. It was $1,800. And I called him up and I said, I will pay you now. I don't think I can get to you for a month. And he said, if you give me another $500, I'll deliver it to you. I'm like, done.
Wow.
So this guy showed up for $2,300. I got everything, clutch, starter, axles from an R32, everything I needed. And then the guys over at Force 5, I laid out the same thing. Hey, this is the project. What do you have? And he said, I have a crashed Passat. I'll bring to you. You take what you want from it, and I'll just come and take the shell away. I'm like, okay, done. So I got the 3.6, a couple other like electrical parts. So I wasn't guessing about like needing a harness. Like I grabbed everything that I thought I would need electrical out of that car. The pedal, the fuel pump, the fuel module, all of it.
Yep.
And then I set out to like make it an all-wheel drive 3.6.
And that he did.
He definitely did.
With working air conditioning,
Yep.
fully shade bay.
Yep.
So
Insanity.
It took significantly longer than doing the coupe swap. Like I didn't work on it as intense, but it still took me like 2 years.
Yeah.
So like did you ever see it on its side?
Yep.
I built a wooden rotisserie, put it on its side, cut the floor out of the trunk. Yeah, it was wild.
Custom control arms in the rear and everything.
So I made them, instead of using a synchro swap, I modified the body to hold an R32 subframe. So that way if I need a part, it's an R32 part.
Nice.
So it's somebody who makes adjustable R32 control arms. I shaved them down a little bit just to bring them in because the track width is a little different.
It's either
like Grooven Parts or somebody.
It's either Grooven or Megan Racing.
Yeah,
they're probably
like
interchangeable. That. Yep. But
Yeah.
you basically have.
I think I cut like a quarter of an inch.
Did you
out
take
of
the
them.
floor from the R, or did you?
Nope. So it's a
custom?
Mark III floor. I cut everything in the trunk out. Put like a new cross member in, and like the original cross member that's at the back of the seat. I welded in inserts that it mounts to, and then I made a new floor that sits over it. So the floor is flat. There's no spare tire well, but it's the same height as a Mark III floor, but with no wheel well.
Very cool.
It was wild.
Yeah,
I went over when it was on its side when you were.
Yeah. So all the work to mock it up, it was just up on like really high jack stands, and like I dropped like there was Sharpie lines all over my floor, making sure everything was square and even to the body so that it could align.
So was it the wheelbase too? Is obviously very important.
Close enough.
Yeah.
The Mark IV R32 is wider, but I figured it was within the slop of like the axles because I didn't have to have custom rear axles made.
So how do you, when you do the alignment, do you?
Same thing as the Mark IV. So you've got the 4 bolts for like the forward.
No, I mean
controls.
like what do you put it into the system? Like
Just a Mark III, and you can. set
Well,
your
you could
own
do.
camber.
You could always do like a.
I mean,
like you could do a string alignment, right?
We brought it to my work.
The very first one I had Al do.
Mark IV.
No, Mark III.
Yeah, we put in Mark III, and because we essentially want it
essentially
the
same wheelbase as a Mark III.
because we want the rear to line up with the front.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So put in Mark III, and then I just went underneath, and I was like, all right, which one? You know,
So
because
like
he swapped out all the control arms for everything's adjustable.
Yep.
So you could essentially move everything to the right or left to line the track up.
Yeah, because think about a Mark III. It's a beam, so
Yeah.
you can't adjust camber unless you're putting shims
No.
in.
Right. Yep.
So this here now you can at least you have the Mark IV, the 4 bolts, so you can move the cups in and out, which is helpful. I elongated them a little bit to give me a little more adjustment.
Every Mark IV or 32 that I've ever dealt with, I just sell the Megan Racing. Or
Yeah,
the,
and
Grooven
so I
parts.
have the original and those adjustables.
Yeah.
And plus you can, there's not a ton, but you can unbolt the whole subframe and shift it a little bit side to side if you're way out of spec.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So you could get it. You got it in.
We got it in like super fast.
What's the rear toe spec? 0? Or is
This
it like
was
5 minutes.
4 years ago.
God, I
Shit,
don't even
it might have
Sometimes
been
they
longer.
tow them. A little bit positive
So-
because
What ended up happening is, you know how you press in those rear bushings on the front arms? So it's Mark IV arms, and I cut the spring perches off them so they're just smooth.
Okay.
And it uses I made a custom bracket that bolts to the caliper and the shock mount, and it sits above the axle, and I got BC Racing because you can adjust the body
yes,
so that it's about 3 inches shorter body for the rear.
that's cool.
But what
So your
happened...
spring rate doesn't change.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But what happened was I think I pressed them in the right way. I don't remember. But basically the extra tension on those bushings forced them out. So I ended up having to drop them out, flip them back upside down, and have it realigned. But I brought it to the guys over at Silver that I always use for stuff. I'm like, hey, can you put some new tires on it and align it? And they had 0 issues aligning it.
That's cool.
So like now that it's done, it aligns like normal. I had to put significantly more time into motor mount alignment to get the drive shaft right, but it's a stock rear drive shaft with a custom length front section, and this company out of Germany, Epitech.
Okay.
Actually,
Yep.
Brian Buckley told me to use them. I ended up buying their front axles, and they have a set that work, and they worked better than the
Is it
drive
like
shaft.
you still
shop.
have that joint between the rear and the front, basically?
Yep. Yeah, and so I had to make my own mounts in the middle of the tunnel, but I
Okay.
align.
Yep.
So think about it, like I had to like align the rear and the front
Yes.
with the rear, because the rear is kind of fixed. I can't play with that too much.
Right.
So I had to. You have to chop the transmission side off, lower it a little bit, and then I shimmed the rear up a little bit by making a custom front mount. There was some guy in Vortex at the time when I started piecing this all out who sold a kit, and I modified it so much. I'm like, why didn't I just make this myself? Not that he did bad work. They just weren't very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So I modified the transmission mount to look a little nicer, and I ended up having to modify the front one so heavily to change the angle of the motor to line up the drive shaft.
Was the bevel gear too high, or?
Yeah, it was clearing the steering rack or something, or
Okay.
clearing the tunnel, or one, making sure that they aligned. So, like, you can have them, but they have to align with that center point. So where I picked the center point, it was really determined by the rear end, because I didn't have a ton of space, but as long as it met within the range of that CV, it worked.
Yeah.
So it was clearing the steering rack and that. And then I had to build a downpipe around all that,
Right.
which it works.
Yeah, so nobody sells a Haldex kit for Mark 1s, 2s, or 3s
No.
right now.
Well, there is somebody that makes a Haldex bracket set that you can weld onto a synchro rear end.
Right.
I just didn't want to do that because now I'm stuck with anything brake, bearing wise in the rear. I'm now stuck sourcing synchro stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
Now
it's-
you're just
everything's
completely
straight Mark
R32,
4. Yep,
yeah.
Mark 4 R32.
Very cool. Yeah.
But okay, so back to the whole thing. The 3.6. So this car drives the best. I mean, it still handles like a shitty Mark III, but it drives and delivers power exactly the way I want. Like, sure, it could be a little faster, but it's just perfect. It's exactly
Just
what
fun
Yeah.
to drive.
Yeah. I
What'd
mean,
you do for an exhaust setup? Is it pretty loud or is it pretty mild?
It's mild. So it's 2.5 from like the downpipe back. It's got a center resonator, like a under the seat resonator, and then a muffler. I had to use. Have you seen like that oval exhaust?
Yeah.
I had to use like an oval exhaust section to go under the rear cross member because it's so low. Driving through Vermont with a road with a wicked crown, it like scraped like all the heat tape off of my exhaust.
Whatever.
So I made that one year.
Yeah. I do
Yeah.
remember you driving back from Molskart, though, and I was like, wow, this guy
Battle of the Builds.
just battle of the builds,
Driving
just drove it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, and the other cool thing that you mentioned earlier is so the bay is fully shaved. You see nothing in it except for like the fuel lines coming out of the rail. So all the AC stuff, I modified the heater core to do heat out the driver's side into the inner fender and AC into the passenger side inner fender.
Really?
And the lines run down each like frame rail inside the fenders and then come up and underneath the motor.
Very cool.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think I
You
did.
welded
so-
all that stuff?
Yep. Every piece of hard pipe I welded myself. So yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean-
the one thing I hated about my Mark IV, and we took it to the beach a bunch because I was like, I love this
Yeah,
car.
why would you not want AC?
Yeah, and I have the compressor. I have everything
Yep.
ready.
No,
Brand
I-
new receiver driver. It's all capped
Yeah,
off.
I bought an
and
AC
I was
crimping
like,
tool
I remember talking to you.
to
I
make
was
my
like,
own
let's
AC
let's do
fittings.
this.
Yeah.
And
Actually, I think Tony down at Black Magic still has my AC crimping stuff because I haven't used it in so long.
Oh, okay. Yep.
yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, every modern convenience you can put in a car, I wanted in this thing, and it doesn't bum me out that much. But I haven't really driven it that much this year because I'm trying to drive my Audi more because I didn't
You
drive.
dro-
I
you
didn't
drove it
drive my
pretty-
Audi at all last year.
You did drive it pretty
Yeah.
religiously though. for a
The
while.
the way it's set up now, I've probably put like 10 to 15,000 miles roughly on it since it's been an all-wheel drive 3.6.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, every year I bring it out of storage, I oil change it, drive it, and then put it back the next year.
It's honestly probably a very reliable car.
It has never given me a problem.
Yeah.
Every
I
time
mean,
I start
that-
it up, it just goes.
The 3.6 is solid.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you do some maintenance on the engine while it was apart, or
So the only thing I didn't do was take the pistons out, and I probably should have, but whatever.
no?
Whatever. Yeah,
No.
head gasket, new.
Yeah,
just
no, you don't
bolts.
even. I don't. Honestly, those engines are so reliable that I mean, my Passat I bought, the guy beat it to 170,000 miles. It was broke down in his driveway, and I bought it, put
Yeah,
new
the
chains
donor
on
had
it.
like 150.
Yeah, I don't even think I've ever pulled the head or did the head gasket on that. It has
Yeah.
250 on it now, and it still goes like a great
I
day.
feel like I had a machine shop at least check the head over. They said it was fine, so I did like timing service, all just the basic maintenance on it.
Yeah.
So it's
They're-
like a 15,000
They're
mile
solid,
motor.
man. The new Atlas, it was so there was a factory that built the Passat and the Touareg 36s.
Yep.
The newer Atlas, basically, it was a different. I guess that manufacturer went out of business, so they started a new there's another company that builds the 36s from the 18 Atlas, right, Mike? It was like 18 Atlas on. But we really rarely see issues with those. I mean, we get them with 200,000 on them. The only issues we saw early on was head bolts weren't torqued properly.
Okay.
So sometimes it would warp heads, but most of the time we could just get away with slipping a head gasket in. But honestly, those things are
It is
pretty
it's been
freaking
so
solid.
problem
Yeah.
free. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you can jump in it, start it just like any other normal car, and other than like driving a low car problems, like it's.
What'd you
perfect.
use for a pan? Just the factory?
It's the factory pan. I was going down a rabbit hole the other night trying to find out if anybody's made a steel low pro pan, and I haven't found one. If I had more free time, I would try to build one myself, but I don't want to.
So on those, they don't have like the oil pump down low.
Yeah, isn't the oil pump like on the side of the block somewhere?
It's up high where the intermediate shaft would be on a 12 valve. So it's basically up in the timing cover area, and then it uses like a suction.
Is there
and
still
there's
a pickup down in the pan somewhere?
There's a crossover. Yep. So I don't know how much shorter you could make it. But also those are taller blocks too, because they have less angularity, or they have more angularity.
My 12 valve was definitely higher up in the bay from the bottom side than this one is, but I mean, it's also, I'm not like ignorantly low. It's
Yep.
low, but it's not like ignorant. There's a couple, I was underneath it the other day, and there's a couple scrape marks on the pan, but nothing like when I had my 12 valve.
Yeah. Maybe you can make like a,
I could always weld like a plate, an
Yeah.
aluminum plate on the bottom of it if I really
give it a
wanted
little bit
to.
of a deflection plate, you know?
Yeah, something.
What are some of your other past cars?
So most of them were Mark IIIs, believe it or not.
I mean,
No
it doesn't
Mark
surprise me. I
No-
didn't realize how many Mark
Mark
IIIs
IVs,
there
yeah.
were before
No Mark
that.
IVs. No.
No Mark IVs.
Wow.
Were there any other Volkswagens? Like ones, twos, fours?
I had a Gold Nugget. It was a 4-door Golf like Mark II like beater
Okay.
that I drove for like
So
a,
we did
for
have
like
a
a for
hatchback.
like a winter.
You did have a hatchback.
Like what's like the shittiest like Mark II engine? Was it like the
8 valve.
1.8
Yeah.
8 valve? Yep.
Yep.
Beat it around for a winter, and I paid some guy like $500 for it. And I
Pretty
got
decent engines, actually.
every penny out of it. I had to put nothing into it, and I think I gave it to a friend, and I think he rode it until it just died.
I mean, the days of $500 cars that you could
Yeah.
drive for multiple years is
I think I got
way gone.
I got a winner out of it, and then some, and plus my buddy drove it around for probably like a
Yeah.
year.
That was
So-
a pretty good management system. I think it was
Yeah.
Digifone.
Digifone, yes, yes.
And it was like pretty simple.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like the CIS bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
throw a P-flow intake on that thing and call it a day.
I didn't do anything to it. I don't even think I put a radio in it.
Oh, wow. No, we used to, every car, we'd just slap a radio in it. Tape deck, CD player, pull out, whatever we had.
Yeah, so that was a beater in between. But so in between building the coupe, I had another red Mark III GLX that was like my winter car, and I turned that into a donor to build a red VR6 Cabrio that Jen, my wife, drove around for a while. She hated standards, so it lasted for like maybe...
She had to learn on that, too,
Yeah,
right?
she had to learn
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, she did. She was not a fan.
No. But I did like a bunch of the real simple shit to it. So like a Jetta front end swap, coils, new custom interior, stereo. I think I built like a 2.9 clone manifold on it. It had cams and stuff. I'm actually kind of pissed that we sold it, but at the time we took the money from that and bought a Tiguan that she had. If
Is that the same one that's still at your house right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her mom's driving.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so that Mark III turned into the Cabrio. The Cabrio went away, and in between that, I bought a daily as a Mark VI GTI.
Yep.
So I've had that for a while, and same thing. Did a bunch of stuff to that.
You got that roughly Probably before, but roughly when I had my Golf R.
Yeah. I bought it. It's a 10, and I think I bought it in either 11 or 12. So yeah, air ride, frame notch, stereo, custom. It's kind of cool. It's got like a bunch of like lights and stuff, and that goes with the theme of the car. You know, custom seats, headliner, stuff like that. And I never really got crazy on the motor in that thing. Just like I did like a tune and like motor mounts and shifter.
You won an intake.
Yes, at some car show.
Yeah, at one of the car shows.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember
And that was like my daily for the longest time. And I kind of put that aside when I bought my S5. And I did like a full revamp on that car. Color changed it, fixed all the rust, new hatch. And I finally did like an upgraded turbo, intercooler, exhaust, and everything on it. And started driving it, and I just didn't like it as much as I remember. So I think I'm probably going to end up selling that once I get everything finally squared away.
This is the Mark V?
No,
yeah,
this is
my gray Mark 6 GTI that I had.
Oh, the one that he did like all the work to, the body work.
Well, recently.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Like I did
You
rocker
did like
replacements.
rockers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
He
that's
let
right.
it sit for a little while and started
The
noticing.
rust just like exploded.
Yeah.
Like all the rockers fell out, and I thought I was going to do like a piece, and I ended up doing both rockers front to back.
Yep.
A whole new hatch.
Fenders and quarters, or
The fenders I was able to save. It didn't go up into the quarters, but I cleaned up the fenders because they're all rolled, and
Yep.
I re-seam sealed the inners and bed linered the inside because it
Is
doesn't
this
run
a 6-speed?
fender liners. Yep,
so what year was it? 2010.
10. Yeah, so the first Mark 6. It's a good car. I just found that like having like 4 cars that like rotating in and out, it's just either the battery's constantly dead or something. So I'm like, I did all this work to it, and I'm not in love with it. I might as well just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I started thinking
You should
like,
sell it to Mike. He loves Mark V's.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
It's a 6 GTI.
He hates Mark 6s.
He does.
Sorry.
And GTIs.
Well, I was thinking 2010. 'cause
Yeah.
That was. Yeah.
Well, and it's a 2-door. Like, why
Yeah.
would you buy a GTI that's not a 2-door?
And he wouldn't want a 2-door.
This guy, he knows what it's about.
Oh, it's a 4-door.
No, it's a
it's a
2-door.
2-door.
2-door, man.
Yep.
Everything's got to be a 2-door.
Everything. It's got to be a 2-door.
Huh.
4-door GTIs
Yeah.
should not exist.
Had Jettas his whole life.
Yep.
And then was
Well,
like,
I
I'm
mean,
going to make a 2-door. Jetta.
4-door Jetta's fine.
I had Jettas my whole life, and I built one into a 2-door.
Yeah, it's funny.
I will die on that hill.
But
2-door
yeah,
GTIs.
so
2-doors is way, it's, but honestly, convenience factor with
Oh,
the 4-door.
I get it because the people that are buying these things now have families.
S5
Yeah.
too, 2-door.
Well, so and that's the funny thing. So the GTI kind of got put aside because I bought an S5, and I've loved the 5 Series since they came out, but like the B8s with the square headlights just never looked right. And when they did the
Right.
facelift, I was like, wow, that just exactly what I wanted.
Sick, yeah.
So I bought that right before COVID, so I got an actual good price on it. And I just put that GTI aside. And I chuckled to myself. I'm like, I'm trying to build an all-wheel drive 2-door blue car. So I just went and bought one because I couldn't quite finish this one in time. But so that car, I did all the basic bolt-ons and everything to that. And that one probably has the most ridiculous stereo to every car
The
that I
S5.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Is that DSG?
Yep.
Okay.
Or whatever the Audi version of
Yeah.
it is.
It's
I shopped.
You had it.
S-tronic.
Yeah, I shopped for manual for forever, and like it's, if you're lucky, it's like 1 out of every 10 is a manual. It's probably way more than that, or way less than that are manuals. So I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go drive one. I'm gonna see if I like it, and it really isn't that bad. And with the tune, and you put it in, I always drive it in sport mode. It shifts the way it, like I would be shifting if I was aggressively downshifting or upshifting. It's by far the best like that I've ever driven.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that getting that car and doing all the, because you can bolt on so much stuff to that. I did all the bolt-ons like the first month I had it. So like all the pulleys, all the everything. I kind of put my GTI aside and I was like,
I mean, yes, it's tough when you get in Audis and you start driving old Volkswagens.
Yeah,
Like, there's a way different feel,
There is.
right? Like, so you appreciate both sides of it.
Yep.
But like I get my RS4 and I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god,
Yep.
this is refinery. Like
Well,
this is.
well, that-
but then I get my Rabbit diesel and I'm like, this is sick too.
It's different.
It's an old shitbox, but it's like a Mark III is an old shitbox,
Yeah.
but it's just a different feel.
Well, yours is not a shitbox.
Yeah, but it
But you
handles
sti-
like an old shitbox,
It-
you know?
But like you get in it and you're still
you're like in
an old car.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean his is a different level. Like
Oh, yeah,
probably the
100%.
nicest it can get. All-wheel
But
drive.
you're
it's
still
still
six,
totally
but
different animal.
Plus, you did like the interior on the 3.6 Jetta too.
But it's a Mark III interior. It's
Yeah,
just
but-
redone.
you know.
So,
you
but
get in it, you still know you're in a Mark III.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
and
obviously.
Like, but that's what I'm saying.
Does
Like,
it still smell like a Mark III? Probably not.
it
'cause it's
smells like
so-
whatever air fresheners they have in it.
Yeah.
But it also, so it's manual. The Mark III is manual steering. So it feels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You didn't do the power steering on that?
No.
got
no.
it? Shave bay?
Shave bay.
Okay.
I figured everybody that has done the manual swap on a Mark III says it's not that bad, and it really isn't.
Where'd you get the rack? Like Europe?
It's a
or
Mark
something?
II. It's,
Oh,
it's a
okay.
Mark II
Yeah.
rack. They swap in. I think the hardest part was sourcing the knuckle that go or the whatever the joint that goes between the column and the rack.
Oh,
And
the
one-
steering column.
And the one
like,
that I got had so much slop in it. I think I ended up using an original one and welding the two pieces together, and
Yep.
now it feels fine.
Yeah. I'll have to drive that. I really
Yeah,
am
yeah.
interested
Anytime.
in driving that.
But yeah, so the Audi, that's what I was saying. The Audi stereo, that one is probably the most ridiculous of all the ones that I have.
Yeah, now I need to.
You
to
do,
go.
You do need to hear. It's a different animal.
Do you drive that a lot or?
Last year, okay, so my problem with that car, and maybe everybody's got the same complaint, is a VR6 sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You cannot convince me that there's a better sounding motor. Maybe like some
The
kind
RS4 sounds pretty good.
I was going to say maybe some kind of V8, but
V8,
I
yeah.
love VR6s.
Or a
And-
Porsche.
I'm gonna have to get a VR6 sound.
In
Yeah.
yeah. But that Audi,
It is amazing.
Audi V6s sound like dog shit. Okay,
But they
So,
do sound good when they're
when
boosting.
you're on it and the supercharger's screaming, it sounds great. But
It's so cool.
The drone and Audi V6
Yep.
sounds when you're just cruising along at like 2,500. It sounds.
Did you add resonators and everything?
Yeah, I haven't found a combination that I'm happy.
So I think we found it, but I don't know. So Benny's B8 S4 has, I think it's catless,
Yep.
and I think he has like Scorpion exhaust with a resonated. I'll get the details,
Yeah.
but he swears it's the best.
Yeah, so what's in it now is, I think it's JHM, so test pipes with the baffled down pipes to like a relocated cat,
Yep.
which is like a high flow cat, so it's not really much of a cat. Mid pipe resonator and 2 mufflers. And it's still, it's the best it's been this year. But like if I'm in it with anybody, even myself, like, okay, the fact that it has a radio overcomes it. But you have to have the radio so loud when you get out, your ears are ringing.
Can you valve it?
I hated that. So I had a valved exhaust at first, and it was so quiet or so loud. I wanted something in between. So
Yeah.
that's my complaint. That's why I didn't drive it almost all of last year. And it had a check engine light for injectors. And I kind of like dragged my feet on fixing it. It turned out one of the high pressure seals like inside the head blew out on it. And I took it apart to do, because I have a Merc Racing supercharger for it. Took it apart, fixed it, put it all together. This is a whole nother drama story with Merc Racing. So through the course of buying the supercharger for them, they told me, like, yeah, we do the 034 tune. You get it through us. And I said, okay, no big deal. It took them 6 months longer than they said to get me the kit. But I have it. I fixed the injectors. I bolted it all up. And I said, okay, I've got this thing ready to go. How do I go about getting this tuned? Do I need to contact you? Do I need to contact them? They're like, oh, we'll handle it. We'll do some emails back and forth. And basically 034 through the course of whatever said, yeah, we're not doing a tune for that right now. So you just have to wait.
I remember this.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm taking it all back apart. And this was at like the end of last year. And I just never really drove it again since then.
So you haven't been driving it? No.
Not until this year. So this year, I put new mufflers in the back so it's not nearly as loud, but it's still louder than I'd like. I added upfront subwoofers in my floor panel. So there's 2.6. So the system in this is tweet, mid, 8, and I made custom door panels that are like it opened the grill up and the grills light up and everything. I added like accent lights like you'd find in a newer one onto the older one.
Nice.
And I put 2 6s in the floor pan on the passenger side. So again, it lost like a couple inches, but you don't even really know they're there. And the stereo is really close to what I want. I just can't get over the exhaust. It's fast. I love the way it drives. So I'll probably do.
I bet it's sick.
I'll probably do some driving on it. Well,
He's like Mike, but he can do all the crazy shit himself. Like,
well, it's
very particular. I'm sure, like if me or Al got in it, we'd be like, "This thing is nasty."
Yeah, you'd only have a problem with it if you went on like an hour-long drive with this.
So I'll be honest, the Golf R, I love it. It's awesome. One of the most drivable cars that I've had, and it's probably actually the most powerful car that I've ever owned.
That was me with the M240.
Yeah, making like 400-ish.
I think closer to 5.
Okay.
Could be wrong. But the thing is it has a Borla valved exhaust, right? And whoever did the dyno tune originally,
Yep.
I think it was United, but can't get confirmation from Fred on that one yet. But essentially it drives awesome and it's fast as hell. But driving it all the way to Georgia with no control of the valved exhaust drove me absolutely insane. So I could stick a screwdriver in there and close the valves, but it's either quiet or it's loud. So I was like, I'll just leave it loud, right? When I got back, I was like, oh my God, because this is a 4-cylinder.
Yeah. But if it's droney, like that drone, it just, it's, you got to experience it. It gets in your ears.
It does. And it does. It's almost like annoying.
So
you know
I did an install on a guy's boat up at his lake house in Maine, and I decided to take that thing one time because I didn't need to bring a ton of equipment with me. And 2.5 hours of just highway speed, it was unbearable. I got out and all I could hear was the exhaust just resonating in my ears.
Helen was 18 hours.
God.
So we split it up, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. It was a 6-speed though. With adaptive cruise control. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
I liked it. I mean, that car it performed. I mean, it broke, but it performed.
So
they all do.
But the exhaust was what drove me.
Lars on the highway with the X3 the other day. We're coming back from dropping Lainey off at the airport. And she's getting off on Bridge Street. And she's trying to go in between 2 cars. And she keeps looking. And I'm like, fucking go. And she's like, I'm trying. The car's yanking me back.
Assist. Oh my God, we were just talking about that with Mike.
I didn't realize
it was still.
It was trying to keep her in the lane and pull her back.
So I made that grill and
I
added
nice.
the mid up there instead of having it in the dash, and it's got the accent light underneath the.
That's really cool.
carbon
So
fiber
that wasn't factory like that at all. No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's a factory door.
Oh wow.
Can you? Oh, let me see.
Okay. Yeah. Swipe over. So that's factory.
Yeah, that's crazy. That looks sick. That's really cool.
Can you change the color?
No, just red.
Just red.
If I
didn't know if you wanted to match the.
I mean, I get it. It's a trend to have but that matches the interior. Everything in that car
so
is
I figured
red.
you might want to match the exterior.
Yeah,
so I didn't know.
So like the one I set up and I did in the GTI is red and white because
Yeah.
that's how the Mark 6s light up. So what we're talking about?
So would you? What I think is cool about the S5 is that
droning, but yes, go on.
So you can get the 3-liter supercharged. He doesn't love the noise, the sound, but it's fast.
Yeah,
especially I'm sure with the Merc racing.
The turbocharged ones are worse.
What, the drone?
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
One of the guys that works for me has a
The B9
SQ5.
Yep.
B9, and his sounds even worse than mine. I'm like,
yeah. Is that the single turbo center?
Yep.
Yeah.
But so I've.
So what you need to do is sell it and then get a.
But I love the supercharger. I love the way the
you don't
powers.
You don't want the RS5.
No. I love the way the
4.2 though, dude.
Okay.
The problem with so if he got a 4.2 RS5, it would have to get 6-speed swapped.
Okay,
that would be the only proper way to do it, like the RS4.
This isn't anything I'm planning on doing, but I was going down a rabbit hole because I'm loving my wagon. So, in between deciding I don't want to keep my GTI and just not being over the top with the Audi. I love the Audi, but I'm not over the top about it. I said, okay.
Like it could disappear if you
it wouldn't hurt my feelings,
Yeah.
but there's no reason to get rid of it.
Yep.
But it has the sick audio system in it.
Yeah.
Which,
And that's the thing. It's like I would, unless somebody was willing to pay for the amount of audio that's
Yeah.
in it, I would want to take it all out. I mean, the retail value on the audio in it is at least 20. I can't just give that away with the car.
no.
And it's
But
all
if you decide to sell it.
and it's all current and it's all
Yeah.
current stuff too. So it's not like it's outdated.
So what would you do? 6-speed swap that car?
No. So I've got so
Now he's talking about the Passat.
yeah. So in between having all this and going, this GTI just isn't for me. That's where I started looking into R36s. So I bought the all-wheel drive 3.6 wagon. I did all the same upgrades that I did to this one. So it's got like the crank pulley, motor mounts, same tune, intake, exhaust, H&Rs, sway bars and stuff. So
Passat?
yeah,
What did you do for motor mounts?
Black Forest.
Oh.
I just couldn't find a pendulum mount.
They have
length-
the 034 insert, which is
That's
good.
what I think I'm going to need to do.
Yeah, it's like
I
the
ha-
aluminum insert. That's
Nope.
enough.
That doesn't work either.
Really?
None of the inserts I bought fit, so I have a bunch of extra inserts lying around. now.
I have an extra one if you want to try.
I'll try. But
I think mine says 08.5 DSG stuff,
Yeah.
though. But
so
I have one in my Passat, though,
okay,
from 034.
really,
Yeah.
all right. I'm willing to give it a go because I
Yeah.
would have bought it if I
Could wagon be different or?
because
No?
I thought
Probably
I thought
not,
I had
but-
an extra aluminum insert somewhere and I couldn't use it
That's so weird. But it will.
because it's the Mark 6 GTI has all 34 inserts in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I even do the stainless subframe inserts so that the bolts don't have any slop in them.
Yep.
That makes a big difference. But so this Passat, I'm driving it around. And I'm digging a wagon. I just hate this transmission, but I love the sounds. It's bigger than like the GTI. It feels a little bigger.
I drove it. I drove it for about a week and a half.
Yeah, it's
And
Loved it,
The
right?
first thing I did, I rolled the window down when I hit 101.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's a good car.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds unbelievable.
It doesn't drone on the highway.
Yep.
What did you do for an exhaust?
Okay, so I bought USP Performance or whatever they are.
Yeah, USP. Yeah.
They're R32 downpipes. I had to modify them to make them work on an R36. Like I ended up sectioning them and turning them a little bit. So it's got the downpipes. I bought a Tektronix catback that didn't fit amazing, and it was meant for the dual outlet exhaust.
Yeah.
This car is supposed to have it, and somebody bought a non-dual exhaust lower either bumper or lip and sawzalled the second opening in it, and I couldn't find that lower one. So I said, you know what? I found a brand new single opening one, put it on, and I modified that exhaust to the single outlet.
Oh, wow.
And it works.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the Tektronix, it's like
It's good.
they make good stuff. It's
Is it
just
Magnaflow or Borla?
Magnaflow. It's just like it's my pickiness with fitment.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that it didn't fit; it just didn't fit great. So I ended up modifying it a bunch anyways, and now it fits much better.
Yeah.
But so you're saying Audi? So I'm like, you can get like B6, like the square headlights, S4 wagons, in manual. So I'm looking around. I'm like, is there?
Like an Ultra Sport?
I don't.
Do you know what that is?
No, what's the Ultra Sport?
So
version?
Benny has a B6 A4 Ultra Sport. Or are you talking S4?
S4
With the V8 though.
So B6, right? So
Yeah.
the square front headlights.
Yep.
They made that in an S4 wagon, right?
They
and
did.
that was a 6-speed V8.
Yes, but people want money for those.
Well,
But those V8s are so the problem, you know, the
is that
problem
a
with
shittier
it.
motor?
Well, no, they weren't terrible. They just had bad valve chain guides.
Okay.
So on the RS4, they used basically like an aluminum guide rail
Instead
with
of a plastic.
plastic. But in with the S4s, it was completely plastic. So
Oh, okay.
eventually, it just cracked.
Cracks.
So you can get them pretty cheap sometimes. And honestly, yeah, that would be what would be the plan?
To have a wagon.
Just to have the
a
V8?
V8 wagon S4. That's
So
manual.
those are about 360 horsepower.
Yeah.
But the
I'm not saying it's-
RS5 would be a 450 factory.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a wagon.
It would not be a wagon. It would also be a DSG.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying it's something I was going to do, but probably like within the last month, I was flipping around.
Yeah, B6 B6 S4 wagon.
It's either going
Top
to be
tier.
expensive or mint, or it's going to be a rusty shitbox.
I mean, you're gonna completely disassemble it anyways.
Anyways.
Yeah, so that's honestly, if you found a clean B6 S4 wagon, you pull the whole drivetrain and just do the chain and put the RS4 guides in.
Yeah.
The problem is they have bore scoring sometimes. They have oil consumption because of that. Valve stem seals. They're old now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those money pits that most people don't get into, but
It's not something I'm looking to do, but I was
Yeah.
I'm just rolling through my head. I'm like, obviously, I'd love to have an RS6, but I'm not spending that kind of money on a car.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
you want a C5 RS6. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Oh, no.
No.
I know, no. I know the one you're
The
talking about.
bi-turbo V8.
Yeah.
So those pop up sometimes, and they manual swap them, and I'm
Really?
like, oh, dude,
How much are they?
they're like, I don't know, 15.
I mean,
But it's a lot because it's like an
For what
early
it is.
2000s
yeah.
Yeah.
C5
Yeah.
A6, but
No,
essentially it's the RS6, so it's a sedan only. If they did the wagon, it probably would have sold a lot better. But it's auto only from the factory, and it's a 4.2 bi-turbo, but old school technology.
Yep. No, nothing I would be
You don't want that.
looking for now. But yeah, so like I was on a wagon kick, and I it just jogged my memory. Like, that's right, they did make them, and I started looking. And, nothing I'm looking for. I have so
Yeah.
many other projects. So
Yeah,
on
so
top,
what else you got?
So on top of all this, I have a Mark II coupe shell from Al that's half stripped, half restored. That I'm going to put a 12 valve in, probably just front wheel drive.
When we sandblasted my car,
Yep, I remember.
he
you
had
said-
his done
yep.
at the same time.
Yeah, so it's got half a floor pan out of it, all the glasses out of it. It's been sandblasted, but it still needs a bunch of actual metal repair done. But I have a Mark III, everything that you would want to swap into a Mark II to make it a VR. So that's the back.
So that could be a coupe VR.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
I have like a bunch of like cool things. Like I have a transmission with a diff in it already. I have an old Schrick manifold set up.
Nice.
So a bunch of a handful of things just sitting on a shelf waiting.
So you're organized hoarder.
Yeah, you've
Well,
never
I mean,
been.
he bought the car from me in like
Join the club, buddy.
2014. Maybe he's had the car
Yeah.
for a long time now.
So like you're like whatever loft. I have one of those I have a loft above my garage too. That's this car parts. Here's all the extra parts.
Yeah. Well, like you were saying, when you're building something, you're like, I gotta save everything.
Yeah,
and then,
you never
and then
know.
you kind of
Yep.
like, once it's done, you're like, okay, maybe I can throw some of this
Yeah.
stuff
So
away.
the other current project, while I'm not picking away at little things on all the other cars, is I bought a Mk5 Jetta off of Al.
Laney's old.
Yep,
Yeah,
Laney's
Laney's
old
old
Jetta.
Which was a 2.5.
There's
Yeah.
a 2.5.
Ripped everything out of that. I bought a Mk5 R32. Ripped everything out of that. That shell's pretty much thrown away. And I think I've narrowed it down to all the stuff I don't need. Like I got rid of doors and everything. But I have 2 full car harnesses just to have extra connectors and pins and wires and whatnot. So that they're all like color correct if I ever do build a harness. And I bought one of the Smith Ute kits. And that's going onto the Jetta. So it'll be an all-wheel drive Mk5 R32 truck. And it can be DSG so Jen can drive it. And this is going to be my wife's car.
Very cool.
She's picking out the wheels, the
wheels,
interior,
colors,
the
yeah.
color of the car.
She's not doing much of the building, but
No.
she is behind.
What does
it.
she daily drive?
So she's got a 16 Beetle with a 1.8 and
Oh, that's right.
like a
That's
Rogue.
right. Yeah, and it's clean.
Yeah, it's
nice
very
car.
clean. It almost never gets driven. But
What
it's
color is that?
Silver.
Okay.
So it's got like small stuff,
Yeah.
like a tune. It's lowered. It's got some wheels. And
She doesn't
even
drive it
audio
much?
Just the summer.
Yeah.
Yep, just
Do
the
you have a
summer.
winter car?
Yeah, like a 19 Rogue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to think of what it was. I couldn't remember.
Lately, she's been itching for something new.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't.
maybe in the
I
next,
wouldn't mind if that gets crashed, as long as she's okay.
It's reliable, and all I've had to do to it is like a set of brakes and oil.
That's like a
changes.
loaner car. I feel like.
Well,
you know what I
okay.
mean?
So what happens is whenever I bought my mom like a 13 Tiguan, we gave her mom her old 13 Tiguan.
Yeah. Yep.
I bought my mom a TDI Jetta, took that back, gave her the Tiguan. So whenever I'm working on one of these random cars, the Rogue gets loaned out to our
It's a loaner.
mothers.
It is a loaner.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Jen drives whatever
One of
car
the-
I have
yeah,
around
yeah.
or her Beetle.
That's funny.
So, yeah. But yeah, the Jetta truck is the current project that I wanted to be done this year, but with the place in Sedona, that didn't really happen. So maybe next year. Al's seen it. It's got
Yeah.
decent progress. It's just like it needs me to really stop doing little things for like myself or like Al's audio system and stuff.
Yeah.
And like buckle down because so like what I'm like you. I come home from work, I grab something to eat, and I'll watch TV for a little bit. And I'm like, I can't just sit here and watch TV for 3-4 hours. I'm either gonna fall asleep or I'm gonna feel like a lazy piece of shit.
I'm a mess
You're
over here.
falling apart over there.
So I'll go out in the garage and do work. And I have an Al's car at the house. Like I tinkered on the audio. Like I'd build a speaker plate or two at work, and I'd come home, I'd do some front speakers. So
Yeah.
when all that shit's not right in front of me, I'll get back onto this thing. But right now it has the center support mounts in the tunnel. That's done. The GTI floor has been swapped into the rear, and I fabricated the rear section that fills in between a GTI and a Jetta floor pan.
Yep.
I have all the Smith rear, I don't know what you want to call it, but rear cab wall in. I haven't done the upper window. I have the bedsides, not the outer of the fiberglass bedsides, but the aluminum inner bedsides. And they have this, Al's seen it, they have this wheel well kind of cover. And it makes sense why they make it. They probably plasma cut it and they can just fold it up and weld the seams. And it looked goofy to me. It's like very trapezoid shaped.
Yeah.
So I bought some flat panel and I made my own wheel well out of a trailer, aluminum trailer well. I welded it up and it just looks much more appropriate to a pickup.
It looks like a truck.
Yeah, and it's proportionally you got a few more inches up at the top. I rhino-lined the underside of the bed, and once I get the other side built, the bed's done. But there's so much like surface rust, I just don't know what I'm going to do to clean it. I thought about sandblasting it, but it's stuck on a lift until I have running gear under it.
What about like a rust remover spray?
No, I wouldn't do that. I don't think that shit gets... It
Deep
does
enough?
like surface rust. I want something that will pick away like... So like say like where I welded in the floor pan.
What about a baking soda blast?
That's kind of... Even blasting is going to make a huge mess because it's inside my garage.
You'd have to take it outside.
Yeah, but it's stuck on a lift. There's no running gear.
We did both our cars.
Outside.
Oh.
You would have
Outside
to
behind.
make a dolly or something.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. My newest thought...
Get some like build a frame real quick and put like some of those big wheels on it and just roll it outside, dude.
We'll see.
I don't know. You're crafty.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
My latest thought has been I've seen laser rust removal.
Okay, that's gonna cost you.
It
Though.
kind of burns it off. Well,
What are you gonna buy one?
yeah. When have you ever bought a tool and like not like found uses for it after you have it?
How much is that though?
I see cheap ones for like $5.
Okay,
If I had it,
come to my house
well,
with it.
that's what I'm saying. If I had it, you mean to tell me like look at this?
How
rust.
deep does it?
I don't know. I don't know. I may spend $5,000 and realize it's a worthless hunk of shit. But I mean, if you have a rusty bracket, why would you not clean it?
Right,
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like I have a sandblasting like a small pot, and I did like the floor like where all the welds were going to be. I blasted that, painted it up, but it's just like a hobbyist setup. So the guy that did our cars was he worked
That
for
was
me.
sand though, right?
Yeah. Well, it's some kind of glass. But he worked for me. He started a sandblast business and then he came back to work for me. I guess like the physicality of doing it just beat him up too much. But he had like I don't know, like a box truck with a giant extend.
It was a full blown box
so
truck.
he had a trailer I think at the time, but he actually took that whole setup.
No, I'm pretty sure he showed up in a box truck. Maybe he didn't, but
his blasting rig was in a trailer at the time.
okay. Oh, so it
he-
might have been yeah. Okay.
He put it all onto like a big like Mack truck, like not like a trailer, but like it's got without a box on it. So
Yeah.
he's got his blasting rig. He's got a big like giant compressor on it, and he does it. And I was gonna have him do it, and he's out of the business and he's selling his setup. But he did a really really good job. This guy Norm, he's an awesome guy.
Well, I mean, I know the rust removal spray works on
It works good for like
V6 Passats.
It works good for like surface stuff, but like, say you had like some really
It just
like,
turns orange to silver, but I don't know
Yeah.
how deep that goes. You know what I mean?
well, I'm gonna undercoat in like everything. So I want something that will get rid of like
Yeah.
the undercoating in like either blasting it or burning it off with like a laser.
If it's surface rust, though, you think is it scaled up or is it?
In some spots, yes. Some
Yeah.
spots, no. Okay, so everything I've done rust so far, I've either used like a needle scaler or
Yeah.
like some kind of wire wheel, and it's just so tedious.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing.
sucks.
He told me what I need to do to my car, and I started getting underneath it, and I'd like send him pictures. And
Did you even get like a quarter of the way through it
no,
before you're like,
and
I can't do this
Yeah,
shit?
and he's like, no, you got to go deeper, and I was like, I
gotta go
can't.
deeper, bro.
I was like, it's on my lift, and like certain things I can't get to, and I was just like, I don't.
Yeah, if you're trying to do a good, thorough
Yeah.
job, it's hard. Like
You
My-
you have to cut it out sometimes too.
yeah, so like my coupe had not bad rust, but I put it on its side and I sandblasted it with a hand rig inside, and it made such a mess.
Terrible. With actual like sand or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we put both our cars out back, and I used the same dolly to flip Al's coupe on its side.
Yep.
And we did that, but even that, like after I got it inside, every time I did something on the
yeah.
car, I'm blowing
So
sand
that's
out of
why I
cracks
reached
and
out. So I had a
crevices.
guy in Hudson. It was Homestead Blasting. And I told him, I said I had that 84 Rabbit. And I
Yep.
was like, you know, it's a back burner project, but I always like to make progress on stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just chip away at something. You know, if it sits there for 5 years, it's
Yeah.
like, why do I even have it? Right? So it's been sitting for longer than that. So I reached out and he was like, yeah, I can blast it behind your garage. But he has a whole setup and he uses baking soda because what he generally does for his business is log cabins.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So maintenance on log cabins, you gotta blast them, then you gotta restain them or whatever.
Yeah, baking
Keep
soda
the
or
bugs
like
out,
walnut or something.
and it's water soluble,
Yeah.
so it's not like that gritty.
Oh, all our shit is like got brushed into the woods at his house.
When I was
Yeah,
in
you
tech
could just
school,
blow it off of the back
I
of
know,
your
but
yard.
you will find that shit in your car forever.
Well, same thing with baking soda or walnut or whatever.
It's water soluble though.
Yeah, but now you've got all the cracks and crevices filled with water.
Well, you
And if you
blast
don't- and
it
if
with
you
a
don't-
pressure washer after. They also do pressure washing with a sand.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how that
So,
works, but-
and I don't know firsthand experience, but when I was asking Norm about that, I was like, hey, if we do this, can we do it with water so it doesn't make it so much a mess? He's like, what'll happen is if it doesn't fully rinse away, it's just going to turn into like cake inside all your frame rails and everything.
not ideal.
Yeah, so I feel like I want to at least try the laser because it's just burning it off.
Yeah.
It may like like pop and like leave like some shit on the floor, but I can clean that up. It's got to be cleaner than like I had wheelbarrows full of sand inside my garage, and no matter how many, if it wasn't for the fact that I did it before it got ripped down and redone, I probably wouldn't have done it because it
Yeah.
got everywhere.
And you went with white floors in your garage.
Yeah, and it's dirty as shit now. Well, my shop is all white.
Yeah. That's
So-
what he was saying.
Yeah.
So the only thing at the shop is every so often I take like a couple hours with like the guys and we soap and degrease the floors and pressure wash them out. And they other
come out
than
awesome.
chips, they come back pretty
Yeah.
good. It's just since I got my floor messy the first winter, I haven't had a time where there wasn't projects spread out everywhere where I'd want to pressure
Believe
wash
me,
it.
I know.
pull one out and you pull another one
We
right
went
back
right back
in.
So
in.
I just did the Touareg. I did the front timing cover. That's oil and coolant everywhere, right? That thing was black, diesel oil like
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, and that stuff is nasty.
And I have the speckle. It hides a lot of shit. But it also, you drop a bolt
And you can't
you
find
can't
it.
find it.
That's why I did white.
Yeah, exactly. So after I did that car, I pushed it outside. I was like, it was late too. I think it was like 11 o'clock. I was like, I can't. It was every day last week I was working on that car. I
With
was
your
like,
setup, you need to do like your messy shit in the garage out back and like final assembly
know.
and like nice clean stuff.
yeah,
up
no,
front.
I just I need to get people's cars out of there
Yeah,
that have
the
like been
storage.
storing, because there's been a couple people who was like just storing them all year round, and it's like I didn't set up my garage. I just put 2 lifts in last November, and it was like the amount of money I'm spending to do that. I like, it's not to store your cars.
Well, it's
So,
out of sight, out of mind for them.
Not to alienate anyone, but
No,
yeah.
hey, it happens. I put shit
I'm
out behind
hoping
my
everyone's
garage and I
gone
forget about it.
by the end of this month, so I can get them out of there.
Is the word out for
The word
everyone?
has been out.
Okay.
There's been a couple of people who were like, "Oh, can I store here because I'm moving and this and that?" But like, there's only a few people left. But
Yep.
like,
I know
realistically,
Sean and Tim want to come look at one of them.
yes,
So,
that is getting pushed outside.
Yeah.
very shortly.
okay.
So I'm buying wheels, or at least finding tires
Yeah,
to
something
get
to
that
roll it
outside
out.
because by the end of this month, it's going outside. The other one is drivable, so I don't know. We'll see. I mean, honestly, it's just I've set a deadline. The cars need to go. I need to strip the A6 that Greg dropped off. I need to get some things moving around. And
What are you looking to do in your garage that you got to get all these things out of there? Or is it just because you want the space for you?
I want to develop that shop.
Like he wants,
Like,
yeah.
I want to
So you
build
wanna
a
set it
I
up.
want to I built the shop. It's not a shop. It's a storage
Yeah.
facility right
Yeah.
now. You know, I have the capability, but like you said, it's not very it's I don't want to make a huge mess in the other shop, which is fine. I'm fine. I can fully capable of doing that, but it's really just the space constraints. The shop that was attached to my house, it was lucky that we had that, and then I developed it, and it worked for years, and it's good for certain situations like in and out stuff. Like I'm doing a clutch on an A3.
Yeah.
You know, last night I was working on it, but there are certain jobs where I'm like, this would be fully 100% better if it was out in a big area where I can move around, especially certain stuff where it's like you're getting custom or you're doing bigger projects where it's like you're pulling drivetrains and stuff like that. It's I'm not up against a wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's very similar to what I'm dealing with. I built my garage for me. I never intended to take work home. So it was always for me to do stuff. And I've piled up so much shit that it's just so like the old shop that you saw, that's still there. I just built a bigger garage around that, and I didn't do as much over there. I'm like, this is where I'm going to make a mess. But I have so much shit piled up over there that now I'm using this one. And I've said, okay, over here I'm going to put 2 4-post lifts, and that's just going to be for storage. And I've got a 2-post, and that's where I'll do like mechanical stuff. Well, now I've got the truck on my 2-post, and I'm doing all my work on my 4-posts, which is a pain in the ass to begin with. You might almost as bad as doing it on the ground, but you can at least be up.
Yeah.
But they were for storage, so they're right up against the wall, so I can barely get to the driver's side of the car. It's not quite a good setup.
Honestly, it's weird when you're like, so it's hard like because you work full time at work, and then you have to do this in your own time. So it's like mentally you have to like get past the laziness part and just go out there and do it. And it's nice because I can just walk out through the door, which is attached to my house. Sometimes it's harder to get out back, right?
Need a golf cart.
Well, it's not the walking part. It's just the separation part from where like.
Do you have a TV out there yet?
No.
Like music?
No.
So
I do have music.
So I have TV and music out in the garage. So I have no excuse if I'm really like feeling lazy, because I'm not into any TV shows right now. And if I spent like more than a week of like coming home and just watching TV, I'd feel like a lazy ass.
Yeah.
So it's like some nights I've got a little extra in the tank and I'll do like a workout and I'll sit down and then I'll like fall asleep in the chair. But if I'm just watching TV after like an hour, I'm like, all right, I need to do something to feel productive, or I'm just going to fall asleep here.
Do you get a lot of side work?
If I pushed for it, I could, but I'd rather work on my own stuff or help friends.
Do you turn it away though?
Yeah, if I've had a couple people ask, and if they're not like a close friend, I'll be like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
Just go through the shop.
I feel that. Oh, okay. So I get a lot of Audi work, and it's like I try to send it to Doug a lot of the times. People are like, "Oh, I want you to do it." Like I'd rather have you do it. So I feel, and then I have like these customers. You know, we were just talking about building relationships and stuff like that, and it's like I don't want them to be let down.
Yeah.
So I feel like I take on a lot of work because I'm like, well, I know I can do it right. I don't want somebody to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And I know I can save them money, and I can also make a bunch. So it's like because I'm efficient.
So I'm kind of in between. Like I don't need to make side money, and I don't have a lack of work at work. Like, if anything, I'm fighting to get out of work. Like, I'm trying to be like, okay, I want to be packing up my shit at 9. Okay, I work 9 to 5, but it's really whenever the jobs are done. Some days I'm there till close, some days I'm not. But I'm trying to be very strict and be like, okay, if 5 o'clock's rolling around, I really need to be like, where's the light at the end of today? Where can I cut it off?
Yeah,
or like,
say figure out where that ending point is and whatever that job
I
is.
could keep myself there till 8 every night, just keeping an eye on like, okay, what's this guy doing over there? What's this guy doing over there? But so I'm trying to balance that so like I can actually get home, talk to Jen for a little bit, like
hang out.
yeah. Just hang out.
Have a relationship.
Yeah, catch up on
Be
the
married.
Day. Yes, exactly. Because
Stay married.
Well, because she works odd hours too, because she's doing hospice work. So she's either right now she's like getting up at 5, 6, leaving at 7.
Yeah,
and then she's home at 2. But if I stayed at work till 8, she'd be falling asleep on the couch by the time I got home.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Sometimes I feel like we're just too sailed. Too.
It happens, and I tell her, I'm like, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Lainey flew in Friday night. I didn't see her till Monday when I got out of, because she went to a wedding. She came home Sunday and saw Lara for the first time at like noon, but I was with him. By the time I came home, Lainey was at the movies with one of her friends.
Did you think it was going to be that long of a day?
No. So I get there at 10.
10.
So get there and we're like, all right, cool. We start going. I was like, all right, we get the second board cut, and then we're like, oh, we'll do the third one after, whatever. But we're like putting it together, and I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's like noon.
Was she home for just the weekend?
She was. Yeah, we dropped her off at the airport at on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. So I got to hang out with her Monday night a little bit, and then I had softball. She went and saw my mom, and then Wednesday we dropped her off, but hung out a little bit. But 2 o'clock rolls around. We're like, all right, trying to figure out where we're at. The top's not even built yet. I don't even think the port was built.
It ran 2 hours beyond what I had planned. I don't know if I ever told him what I was planning, but I figured it was going to be at least an 8-hour day, and it probably turned into maybe 10.
I figured probably, because I didn't know what we were exactly doing and how far we were going, but I figured 3-4 o'clock.
Was that the
roughly
full install?
No,
was it,
so I'd
was
have
it a 2-day job?
No, so if his ran through the shop and I had this is work time, it's probably a 3-day job.
So he did everything.
So you owe him some cash, bro.
He took all the door panels off, made custom speaker pods for all the doors, and then the radio.
You had to make custom.
Yeah,
door.
We put 6.5s where I think 4s were.
Yeah.
Was that wood too?
We use expanded cell PVC.
Sick.
Well, okay, and the other thing is it's at my house, so I'm just kind of fucking with it when I have a minute.
Yeah.
It's different when it's workflow at work. I could do it so much more faster and more efficiently when I'm in go mode. Well, and plus, okay, he's trying to figure out he's going from nav to a non-nav.
That was a nightmare.
And I spent probably 6 hours worth of time just digging through wiring diagrams. Hey, I think I found this. Let's try this out.
Yeah,
that didn't work
HVAC
either.
controls,
Yeah,
right?
I bought 3 HVAC units before we found one that worked.
What is have you
I have no idea.
figure it out? The translation on the instrument cluster?
Take a picture and have Google Translate tell me what it is, but I just
I have a picture. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll figure it out.
So we did that. He had to put the head unit in, and then the 2 amps under the seat. So by the time I got the second HVAC, I think you had everything in.
Well, so that's the difference between if it was for if I was doing it for side work, I would probably try to be a little more efficient with it. But I'm doing it because it's a friend and I want to fuck around and I want to make sure it's it's fun.
Yeah.
I feel like Al's going to tell me he needs more bass down the road, so I tried to plan that amp rack to hold 3 of those amps. And just because I'm not in work mode, I just kind of fabricated something. I welded it up, and I said, okay, this is going to fit.
What's it say?
What am I looking at? This machine indicates Washer fluid shortage.
All right, so I got to put washer fluid in next time I take it to work.
It's written in Japanese. Washer fluid shortage. This is the
that's
common
hilarious.
warning message on imported Japanese market luxury vehicles,
yeah.
like a Toyota Celsior.
Yep,
That's funny.
that is hilarious.
But yeah,
Technology.
so like I'm spending a little extra time just monkeying with shit for no reason, and then it turns out I didn't measure the height exactly right, so I couldn't fit 3 amps under the seat because of the rails, and I ended up like having to take it out and remake it so they're a little bit closer together. But yeah, I don't know. My garage is more for me to fuck around with. I've got more than enough work on my plate at work that I don't need extra work and I don't need extra money for.
Yeah.
So I'd rather, like my buddy Josh, he does landscaping stuff. So I'm like, hey, I hate doing yard work. Come over and do some fucking yard work for
I'll
me,
work on
and I'll
your-
do like some
yeah.
brakes and stuff.
Yeah.
I got a pile of brakes for his Audi at my house.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'd rather trade favors, stuff like that. Same with like audio. Like if a friend wants audio, I don't want to like nickel and dime it just to get it done. I want to do like the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm glad he wanted to buy DSP because it does. It's fun to make it sound good.
Well, at first he's like, "Well, what's your budget?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I'd like to be somewhere around $1,000, but like,
That's what I said originally about the Audi. He was like, well,
So he gave me
$1,000.
So he gave me like the door speakers we kind of already had picked out, but he gave me 2 different style amps, 2 different style subs, 2 different style head units. I end up going with.
I think he talked himself in
I did. I 100%
He
He
did.
upsold himself.
He,
like
he
every
talked
step
to
of the
me,
way.
and then he was convincing himself that he was going to spend more money.
So, but I did the price difference, and it was like, I don't know, it was like $500.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like,
it's really good entry level stuff.
Yeah.
It's like if you were like, okay, man, I want something ridiculous. Like, okay, then we'd sit down and we'd point it out because there's more choices on the higher end side.
yeah.
But like the price jump is huge.
But like he convinced me in the amps because of the DSP. I was like, cool.
Gotta have it.
He's like,
What'd you do for speakers?
Kenwood Exelon.
And Kenwood head unit.
and Kenwood head unit. But he's like, I'd rather see you spend more money on the amps. That way I can make the speakers sound better.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect. I was like, that's fine. I'll go with the higher amps. And he showed me both head units, and he showed them to me, and he's like, I put this one in my coupe. I hated it.
No, it was in my truck.
Oh, the truck?
Even the truck, and I'm like, okay, this is a piece of shit that I haul trash with. It doesn't matter, and it drove me crazy. So it's like newer cars with a touch everything instead of a button.
Yeah.
And in your car, I guarantee you, doing it all left-handed, that would have driven you crazy.
It probably would have
not being able to feel a volume button.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. I go, is it worth it? I go, is there more features in it than just the buttons? And he's like, yes. And I was like, all right, cool. We'll go with that. And then the last thing, I was like, are the 12W1s better than the 12W0s? And he's like, yeah, they kind of are. And I was like, all right, screw it.
Well,
I was
it let us do cooler stuff. So like the box, it can be smaller, so I was able to fit it in the wheel well and do all that. It would have had to have been much bigger. Use W0s. He can put more power to him down the road if he wants a bigger amp or a second amp. Yeah.
Yeah, so
pretty loud.
It's
Pretty loud
So-
right now.
So what you're saying is I can get another amp
Yep.
and power both.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm going to do in the Passat. Like
Yeah.
I told you, the Passat, I'm going to do a similar box setup in the well, and I'm doing 2 of everything. So 2 6-channels, 2 sub amps, but same subs, ported box.
Does Jen listen to music a lot, or?
Not the way I do. She has a nice system in her Beetle,
Yeah.
and what she thinks is loud isn't.
What do you like for music? Are you like
Early
hip-hop or-
early 2000s.
do you like
God, like a little bit of everything, and I feel like I've sat back and like kind of looked through like Spotify like playlists, like what I'm listening to right now. It's probably newer metal, like, but not even like,
dad rock, not butt rock?
No, definitely not. Like, okay, so Volbeat is
You
huge.
knew what that was.
Yeah, like Volbeat is huge in my playlist. I love those guys.
I was just say, like, a lot of the stuff, like, when I've been over there, you've had your playlist, and it's,
Yeah.
like, early 2000s.
Yeah, Volbeat,
Godsmack?
Slipknot. No, I don't hate Godsmack, but it's not, like, big on my list.
Shine Down?
No.
No.
Slipknot, for sure.
Slipknot? Okay.
Old Slayer. God, can't
Slayer,
beat, Can't
okay.
beat old
Yeah.
Slayer. Early Metallica. But
Metallica.
So, like
Metallica.
almost anything from the 80s. Even,
Yeah.
like, cheesy 80s
I was
stuff.
going to say, at the shop, we were listening to a lot of late 80s,
Metal.
early 90s.
Like Billy
Hairband.
Ocean. Like,
Yeah.
come on, how can you hate like
Yeah.
Billy Ocean or some
Yeah.
Aha?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to like.
Megadeth.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. if I do rap, it's usually like stuff like Al listens to, like
Hip-hop.
late
Late 90s, early
yeah,
2000s.
Yeah, 100%.
I got a few
all
like
new
newer
rap is
artists.
garbage.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I mean, I listen to
Bad.
some newer
It's all
stuff.
trap
but
music.
Yeah.
It's like that same.
You know,
it's just sounds
I-
like they're barely speaking.
for throwback stuff, if I'm out in the garage and I just want to relax, have you ever listened to The Midnight?
No,
It's newer, but it has like a very like 80s kind of vibe to it.
nice.
It's a little,
Okay.
little more calm.
I'm always open to music
Yeah.
or recommendations.
yeah. Spotify, if you do like a mix, they make some decent recommendations.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of punk rock or hip hop.
There you
That's
go.
pretty much.
I did a
where-
lot of TI this week in the car.
Yeah,
T.I. is
A lot of
good,
T.I.
dude.
I was playing some like West Coast stuff, like West Side Connection,
Yep.
old Snoop Dogg on,
yeah.
the,
That's
way,
what I should pull
on the way home.
I should pull up Ice Cube on the way to work tomorrow.
There you go. I had the Ice Cube mix, and I hit like 3 or 4 songs on the way back from finishing your car.
Dude, West Coast hip hop has like a completely different
sound, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty sick. Like you look at like obviously like I mean Snoop Dogg, you look at Dr. Dre, like you know, it's crazy. Tupac,
the
like
3 guys from the West Side Connection,
Yeah.
WC, Mac 10, and Ice Cube, all
Yeah.
really good.
Ice Cube, dude.
Yep.
Early Exhibit stuff was really good too.
Yeah.
Before he went on
Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride.
About
But
that
honestly, Pimp My Ride was pretty sick.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was good for the time.
Did you gain inspiration from that show?
No, even when it was
You were
on,
like, I'm not doing any of that
no,
shit.
even when it was on, we were looking at it like, this shit is
Were you at Boomers?
cheesy. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And you were
Or like,
wow.
what was the other show that the guy out of New York?
I don't know. That one.
Shit. Will Castro is the guy that he owned the shop.
I'm looking at it now. Castro.
Yeah,
they
what
were
was
on like
that?
Speed TV for a while.
I think I did watch it.
I remember watching it and just. I remember like he was doing all like the New York like hip hop guys like Busta Rhymes and all like the New
Unique
York-
Rides.
There you
Unique
go.
Rides. Yeah.
I remember looking at that and I'm like, the lifestyle that this guy's.
What's he
present-
look like? Let me see Will Castro.
Yeah,
'Cause
he's
the-
like a heavy set like Spanish guy.
The name rings a bell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You probably recognize the face.
So
He was
West
all
Coast
over the place.
Customs, they're
That's a
still
different-
around,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
they,
that was-
They
that
tried.
was-
He's a baseball player. Hold on.
Because West Coast Customs was,
Kind of the
Pimp My
same
Ride,
thing.
right?
Yeah. But so like when
but
that,
they're still around now.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know. I don't understand the economics of it.
Yeah.
It all has to be wrapped around a TV show because I'm looking at that's the dude.
Yeah. I remember him.
So I remember seeing the
shit,
I
yeah,
remember
dude.
seeing the installs and watching the guys work, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, these are sports figures and like rappers and stuff. I'm like, you're doing mediocre work at best, and you have to be charging these guys a fortune to present this gigantic building and this lifestyle that
Yeah.
you're portraying.
You think they were underpaying the tax?
Probably. I remember the main guy on that show. I remember me and this guy Norm that works with me. We used to joke about how much of a hack we could see it on TV and we're like, this guy is a hack. How are they doing
God.
this?
Do you remember Ish?
Yeah.
That interior guy?
Yeah.
That guy was legit, dude.
Yeah.
He did some shit. Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing.
Oh, he's
I'm
probably
gonna
still
look him
out in
up.
California
You think he's
doing
on
it.
Instagram? I'm gonna
Doing
look
his
him
own
up.
thing. Well, every time like I'm flipping around Instagram, you'll see like all the old guys from like what was it, Boyd Coddington's shop. They all have
Yeah.
like their own paint shops.
Yep.
A lot of the like the shows that like. What's the other one? Gas Monkey Garage.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I feel bad for all the guys that are working there.
Yeah.
Like if they're clearly being like forced to do this work, and they're definitely cutting corners to do.
Oh, well,
this.
they're
And
getting these cars done in 2 weeks.
The
There's
deadline.
no
It's-
way.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Like anybody that knows like a full restore like for a car, it's a year to 2 years minimum.
Yep.
And depending on the level of the customizing you're doing along the way.
Well, if you look at, if you look at like Singer,
Yeah.
the
Yep,
Porsche
yep,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
Porsche.
these guys are not cutting corners.
Yeah.
And
No.
they're charging appropriately.
But they're
But
charging-
the guys are probably getting taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with
I don't trust any of the
Rod Emery.
the TV show
Yeah,
custom
yeah.
things. Yeah.
it's. I'm sure they're getting financing from the TV shows
That's
and stuff
why
like
it
that.
works.
Yeah. It's crazy.
No, but a lot of the common people that don't really like just see like the posts or they don't get it. It's like until you've tried to do it or you've been involved in it, you don't get it. Like, it's crazy, but like an average full resto, I'd be surprised if you can get out for under 200.
That's what Doug was saying, remember? And he goes...
And that's crazy money.
Because Al was like... I think you reacted quickly when Doug was like, well, I have this E30 M3, and like people are losing their minds because it's like, you know, I'm getting quoted $100,000 to restore this car. And Doug's like, that's the low end.
Yeah.
Like, if you want it done,
Yeah, because he's talking
like a brand new car.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's where you have to be smart. Like, do you have a mint car? Does it just need to be resprayed, or does it need to have like stripped and like metal worked?
Well, he even said you can buy a clean driver for $70,000 or $60,000
and not mess with it and just
drive it.
Yeah.
But if you want a fully restored, perfect BMW E30 M3, you're spending $100,000 to get that done at least.
I got a story about, and this kind of ties into this. We'll try to keep names out of it. So we had this guy come in. He bought what looked like on the surface a nice old truck. He said, "I just want you guys to do a couple custom things for me. This thing's mint." And you know, the budget started out generous, but not like over the top. I think it was like 20, 30 grand. It was like audio, maybe like some new seats, and like add some custom thing to this old like Chevy's truck. I don't know, like 50s.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a Ford, I think. And then we got into it, and we're like, you know, man, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed on this. And he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And we won't do this anymore, by the way, because how bad this one went. We're like, well, we're not really a body shop. We can kind of do custom. And the guy that works with me, Norm, we're both very capable fabricators and mechanics. So we can do anything. Do I want to do it professionally and stand behind the quality? Maybe not. But so we get into it, and this guy just kept adding and adding and adding, and it went from like freshen up this motor, or like, you know, add like a new exhaust to it, to like, I want to do a Coyote swap.
Oh Jesus!
This is Adam.
And like the new transmission and everything, and we're along, and the sales guys are like having this guy, and he's going like, money, money, money. So they're going, yeah, Ryan, we're going to do this. And me and Norm are both looking at each other and like, how the fuck are we going to do this?
Were they budgeting properly?
Nope. No, because there wasn't a budget.
So it was open checkbook?
Supposedly. So we got to the point where
the checkbook was empty.
Yeah. So we got to the point where I think we had restored a bed, made everything but the woodwork on a custom wooden bed in this truck. We had stripped it down to the frame. We had powder coated the frame. We had made custom motor mounts for a Coyote motor. I made like custom bracketry and all kinds of stuff. I had custom built the engine harness to go in through a custom firewall that I built with a quick disconnect. So we hadn't wired the truck. We had just wired the engine into the cab. And I think we had built like frames for the seats, so we kind of knew where stuff was going to be, so we could locate like the column and the shifter and stuff. I was working with a body shop that we won't deal with anymore. And I had
learning lesson.
Yep, I had them come down. They actually did the work on the Coupe, so that's where I find some other things too. There's some stuff I had redone. And I'm saying, hey, listen, man, I'm not a body guy, but I'm capable of welding. I'm capable of sanding. Am I in the realm of doing this like responsibly, where this, you know, like I'm replacing cab corners and I'm gapping the door, so I'm adding like material around the doors to gap everything. Oh yeah, dude, you're fine. Okay, you're sure? Because this doesn't feel right to me. You know, like I'm fitting new fenders and I'm cutting the seams and lining everything up with the hood. So we got this thing to the point where, you know, God, I don't even know the budget, but we were probably at least 100 into it. And like, and I mean, I remember having casual conversations with me and Norman, like, these guys think he's going to get out of it. This thing's not going to leave here for less than 200. So it gets to paint.
Was he supplying the motor and shit?
No, I think we supplied.
Okay.
We bought a crate motor, so we're getting chunks of money.
So you're just billing hourly.
Yeah, we're billing hourly, and we're getting
at 120.
Yep, and we're getting chunks of money along the way. You know, like in like probably $20,000-$30,000.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're not out, like, we're not losing money, but we're like, dude, like, guys, we haven't even discussed the custom interior. We haven't even discussed the custom stereo that this guy wants.
The original stuff.
The original stuff. Like, I think I did like can dig it like custom door handles on it, like where there's a little lever you push in. all this stuff. So it goes to this body shop, and I think this is where it went off the rails. That's
where it always goes off the rails.
So it goes there, and they're like, "Oh man, we had to redo all the shit." I'm like, "I had you look at what I was doing because I didn't want to do a bunch that you were going to have to redo. I'd just rather have you do it." So like I did a bunch of gapping, and they found that like I think the firewall was shifted because this thing had probably been hit at some point, and the roof had to be redone. And somewhere along the line, the body shop owner and the customer got it, and it should. We were the customer to the body shop, so we were paying the body shop. So he went to him as we were.
He cut you out.
Yeah, he cut us out as we were trying to collect from him to pay for the next step of the body work. He went right to them, paid them, cut us out. So we're like, like 20 grand out on this, and took the truck from them. So we ended up having to go to small claims for it. We got like nothing back from him.
Fuck.
And we had half his parts. So he ended up coming back to us afterwards. And we're like, the only way you're getting this stuff is if we square the balance that we have. I don't care what happened outside of this. So we got that. And then he tried running around and trying to get everybody else to finish it for him. And he finally came back begging us to do it. We're like, no. Like, you thought we were trying to scam you because of how fast these things climbed. And we tried telling you along the way, like, we don't know how this thing ends. And you kept adding and adding and adding. And you're not adding stuff that, like, that F100 or F150 chassis, there's probably like a handful of motors that you could have just dropped in it. You had to pick the one motor that doesn't drop in it, that needed custom motor mounts, custom firewall, custom everything. Like if we could have fired it, I would have loved to have fired it. But we had a drivetrain in it. We could steer it. We could drive it all around. We had it most of the way back together when it left to the body shop. So yeah, we won't get into that kind of stuff again. But yeah, that's 200 is like chump change when it comes to like a custom hot rod.
Yeah, I talked to Swoops. You know Swoops?
Yeah, there you go.
He does
lots of cool
custom shit. Yeah. He's honed his craft for sure.
Just started out doing hard lines.
Yeah, now he's like machining stuff.
Yeah,
all kinds of custom
honestly,
parts.
Absolutely talented individual. Great guy. But I talked to him about it, and he's had to fire customers, and like now it's like he's learned that customers are not all created equal.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And there are certain customers for the custom shit, which is what he does. But the idea that people are all going to perceive things or you have to have the certain type of customer who's going to make those deposits. And he basically restructured the way he does business so that he gets paid, so he can make sure he gets paid, because honestly, people start to get a little bit crazy. They're like, well, I want to do this, I want to do that, all these other things. And it's like, they don't realistically perceive how much time and how long,
or how
it
big,
takes,
like a small change at the wrong point in the process can cost.
You got to end up backtracking. And
Yep.
I mean, technically, I did it with the Mark II. You know what I mean?
It may not be money, but it's your time. Like,
Yeah.
How much time did you have to double do things for?
Because I sent the car to get painted. I stripped it down, left the motor in it, and then realized, I got a full VR swap while he had it. So now I want the bay shaved. So I had to send it back. He gave it back to me so we could do all the test fitting. Gave it back to him, got the bay shaved, got it back, and then realized I need the floors done now. That I should have just stripped the whole car down, had it done, and then, did everything and then given it back to him. I probably would have had it back years ago.
Last week we were talking about AMS AutoWorks. I don't know if you follow that guy Diego, but I was talking about the CAE shifter he did.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to cut the console, and but this guy, he does nothing but custom work all the time, and I always wonder, I'm like, how does he remain successful? Huge shop in Jersey, which I'm sure the rent is through the roof, goes through tax, I'm sure, all that, but his dedication is wild to it. And I just feel that, like, you gotta have, he's a wicked, like, if he doesn't like the build, he's like nah, get the fuck out of here, because he knows probably from doing it so much that, like, not every customer, you don't need every customer.
No.
And even if it's like cool at first, he probably is like, all right, that's going to be a $50,000 retainer at least, and then we'll revisit, you know. But that's the defense of our industry. It doesn't matter if you're doing custom shit, if you're trying to fix somebody's car, we're always on the defense because people are always expecting like miracles, and we don't have miracles for you. We're just trying to fix your fucking shit or make it nicer.
No,
you know?
For us, we do a lot of big custom things, and I feel like that's dialed back because of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's like I'd rather, for me, like the sweet spot is 1 to 2 weeks. If I can't get it done in that spot, it's just you're going to be impatient. I'm going to feel like work is piling. Well, not rushed, but like work's piling up. Like this, I've been working on this thing for 2 weeks and it's not gone yet. And along the way, like mostly because I'm, I guess, like what you would call like the shop foreman. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly getting stopped from doing like the big thing to help with this little thing and take care of this thing. So if it's 2 weeks, you know, I can manage it. In the fabrication is what takes so much time. You know, like the wiring and the speaker placement, unless it's custom speaker fabrication, like door panel fabrication, you can do it all in a week. You know, like that BMW I showed you pictures of earlier. It was like a week for the radar detector. Me and the guy.
You working on it?
No,
or?
So I have one guy who does radar detectors specifically, and he's really, really good at it.
So he spent like a full week.
Full week doing that. Plus, so it was radar and like a custom plate mount, the magnetic plates that you just pull off. So that was like a week.
So he probably had a fair amount of that car disassembled.
Yeah, I don't think we needed to remove the rear bumper because the sensors were in the hatch, but the front bumper came off, which is really hard in those cars.
Really?
Yeah. He did.
He spent like, you think real time, like 30 hours on that?
With the plate mount and everything else, at least 40 hours on that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he had a full week into that car, just the radar setup. Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
But the customer was
over the top.
Because he just wanted it to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But so like a week on a radar.
Yep.
My guy Chris probably had like a week of doing like the two of us kind of tag teamed audio stuff. So like the bulk of the audio was done in a week. And then I had another week of like door fabrication. Those doors, and I'll show you pictures, but there's like a lot of CNC work in the door panel I made. So I made a whole new custom lower door panel that held 2 6s. Not just the mounting, but the actual door panel itself. And that was a week. And then I did probably another week in amp tuning, amp mounting, and building the box and the enclosure in the floor. So that was a long one. That one definitely, it pushed past that point, and I was stressing at the end. I can't remember what.
Because you didn't want to go and ask for more money, or? No,
actually, this was probably one of the cool people. And if I said, "Hey, I need another 10," he'd probably been like, "What for?" Okay. Which is super rare.
You didn't need it?
I didn't need it. It was just, God, what?
Are you pretty textbook when it comes to like, do you run a clock? Like, are you?
I try to, but because I'm so all over the place, I have to be. I don't want to penalize a customer because I got distracted.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I spent an 8-hour day working on their thing, I really have to think and go, okay.
Did I work 8 hours?
Yeah. How much time? And I'm usually in their favor.
Yeah.
But that one there, that's what it was. It was like me and Jen had a flight scheduled to go to Sedona to deal with my place out there. And it was like this car needed to be done before I go so it could get dropped off to have all the PPF work done on it. And then from there, it was getting a bunch of performance stuff done. So it's like I didn't want to be the bottleneck. It would have been fine if I had left some like custom pieces out. Like if the floor in the back wasn't done, it probably would have been fine. And I could have dealt with it when I get back. But I'm looking at my schedule. I'm like, okay, so I'm gone for a week. And then I already got things on the book the week I get back. So those are all going to get pushed out. So I killed myself. I worked like, I think I came in one morning. The shop was too chaotic. I'm like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to sleep until 8 and I'm going to come in. I'm going to work until like from 8 till like 9 the next morning with nobody around, nobody bothering me.
That's crazy.
And I just hammered it out. And we still left. I went home. I had like a day to sleep and then we took off the next day.
Yeah, but you are an owner.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you're making a lot more money than Like if you were just a tech, you probably would be like, well, I'm clocking out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so okay, and that's the thing. So my guy Chris, there's been times where he's like, okay, he does sim racing. So he's got he's got a league that he races in, and he does actual, like, he's on a pit crew for like a semi-pro like NASCAR team.
Oh, cool.
And there are times where he's like, dude, I got to get out of here for this. I'm like, listen, man, you tell me what you need, and if you tell me you're going to get it done, you do it when you can. So there's sometimes he'll work till like 11, 12 at night. He's hung out with me to help me wrap shit up. He's like one of the good ones.
Yeah.
And we make sure we take care of him on the other end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to put in the long game for the customer.
But it's also a benefit of being flat rate. Like,
yeah,
if you're gonna, you can put in the extra couple hours.
Yeah, there's been times where
you got to swing sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, there's been times where he's like, okay, I want to leave a day early, and I'm like, oh, okay. If you want to leave a day early, I don't give a shit. Just get the job done, like you said, and he'll stay late and get it done. It's what it is.
Kind of like freelance work.
Yeah,
that's how I always think of it. Sometimes.
So I do it now. When, like, I feel like I'm under the gun. Back in the day, I used to do it just because I was a retard. I would stay, like, there were times, me and Norm were joking about this just the other day. There was a car, we built this over-the-top, like, pimp my ride thing. And I remember the two of us fell asleep in the front seat of this thing at like 5 a.m. trying to finish it up to deliver it to a guy for the weekend.
Oh my God.
And it was like 4 custom door panels, like the whole back seat of an Expedition was all speakers and amps. And
yeah, were you just running on piss and vinegar then,
yeah,
right?
Okay, I can't do that
I used to
anymore.
do that for like car shows and stuff. I'd try to like finish a project. I'm like, oh, I'll just stay up all night and get it done, and then you're just miserable the next day. Like,
no, I mean, I used to be able to do that.
Spring back.
I used to be able to do that into my 30s, but not anymore, man. I'm an old man like me and Al.
Yeah,
we're talking about the other day.
We're old.
Dude, last week I was like 8 a.m. to basically 10 p.m. every day and it was hot last week, and we don't have air conditioning. Brutal. So like last week when I hung out and we podcasted last weekend on, was it Saturday night?
Saturday night, yeah.
I was toast, dude. I was completely toast. I was but I finished what I needed to finish, and I got a couple things done, and it was just like, all right, well, nobody else does this. This is stupid. Like, but I have so much shit that I want to get done. And like, it also sucks because people come to me for their regular car shit. So, and I have a hard time like just saying like no. So I'm like, oh, I'll just take it on.
Well, that's what I was saying like earlier. Like, if you're coming to me because you think you're going to get a deal,
that's not why people come to me though. They just want it done right.
Yeah, like Well, and that's the thing. Like, it totally depends on who you are. If it's somebody that like I think I'm gonna have fun doing the system. Yeah. Like, come on, like a right hand drive Celsius. Like, I wanna fuck around with it. It's fun. Yeah. I've got friends from like high school that still talk, and I'm like, every so often I'm like, dude, come on, just like do something. It'll be fun.
Like, I had full plans on just doing it myself. I just wanted help putting the thing. Well, I like doing the head unit because I knew the power. I had already Googled it and knew that I couldn't buy a harness for the navigation to put in the radio. Yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, we can figure that out. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was just gonna do it, and then he's like, oh yeah, you can just bring it over. And I was like, oh cool, I'll come back on Saturday. And he's like, you're just gonna be in my way.
Yeah, I feel like at one point I'm like, I don't know how much help you're really gonna be. But if you want to watch, you're fine.
Yeah. He's like, you're just gonna kind of be.
Have you ever done a Phaeton? That's probably a tough integration.
Not for audio. No integration's tough. If I can get the diagrams, it's not bad. It's when there's no diagrams that's tough. So like that brand new M5 wagon, no diagrams. So that was a lot of testing and checking.
So I dropped the Phaeton off with Johnny this week. Me and Kim drove up to. So I was like, so I bought it off of Ben Benton. Do you know Ben Benton?
Yes.
Yeah. So he drove it for like 10 years. And, I was like, he called me. He was like, I know you have another Phaeton. He was like, I've been talking to, I think it was Scott Sheldon. And he was like, he said you had a Phaeton. And he's like, you know how Volkswagens are. You always got to have a backup. Yeah, and he's like, this one drives. He's
Never can have too many spare parts.
So he lives in Merrimack. And he has I think he bought an A7 as a daily. But he still has his Mark IV R32 turbo. The red one that's been sitting with the 1552 snowflake wheels on it. Yeah. That thing has been
just sitting?
He says, well, he he had a child, so
that'll do it.
and I think he had moved.
Responsible
and,
parents
yeah,
and all.
he's but he's like, I'm gonna get back to it. And last year he was gonna work on it, and he hangs out with Greg once in a while.
Okay.
But he called me out of the blue, and Scott I saw him at like one of the Target meets in Nashua Friday night last year. I think it was last year, and he was like, "Hey, I know you got a Phaeton. Ben Benton has one for sale."
Put you two together.
And he was like, it
figure it out.
needs a little bit, but he's like, he daily drove it for like 10 years. And it's like, he's got the Helios wheels. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really need another Phaeton, I swear.
Are those the big smoothies?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
that's
no, not the smoothies. They're like these big blocky, they almost look like Long Beach Mark IV wheels, but they're like 19s.
Okay.
So they're pretty cool. We looked them up one night. I showed these guys.
Yeah, we
So
we
I
did
dropped
it
I
here
dropped
one
them with powder. I did buy the car because the price was so cheap for what it was. So I dropped it with Johnny. He's doing like the hood, the fender, or the hood, the roof, and the trunk lid, because it almost looked like somebody like spray painted it or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Ben like what happened. The
Okay.
yeah, so the but I've got like lowering links, and then I bought a set of
Is it on air?
Bentley
Like
wheels.
factory
Yeah,
air?
it's factory.
Nice.
So I drove it out to the Seacoast this weekend, dropped it with him, and Johnny's gonna repaint the hood, the fender, or the hood, the roof, the trunk lid, because somebody repainted it. It kind of like got faded or something, but the rest of the paint's like pretty good.
God, that's
so.
somebody I forget to think about when I want somebody local for paint, and I can't find anybody local. He's way out there. Well, just like I don't want custom. Like, but the Passat just needs a respray.
He would probably do it because he would respect, like he's very selective with side work.
I've asked him before, and he
Yeah.
didn't want to take on anything custom.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I just want a paint job.
Yeah, he will do it, but he's always building like his own
shit,
stuff.
yeah.
So I've been storing his Jetta Coupe, the one that won last year at like every show.
the peach one.
The peach one. So I got
so you had an
fortunate,
in.
so I had an in, and me and him, we go back and forth, but I was like, are you cool with me dropping the Phaeton? And then I had a bunch of parts for the Rabbit that he needed to paint, and then like a couple of parts for the 944 that still doesn't drive. But yeah, the Phaeton, I guess they make like an interface that's like it, but it looks too much like a Tesla. It's $1,200 that you can buy from like Lithuania. So the factory radio is it's integrated. So everything you do with the car is integrated into that. Whoa. So they do make an interface that's like, it's fully touchscreen, but you know how you get in a Tesla and it just looks like a giant iPad?
Yeah.
It looks off on a Phaeton because the Phaeton, it's not an 04.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I kind of want to figure something out with that car where it's like, I don't know.
Does it have any modern things like Bluetooth or anything, or is it? Just
It does.
just
He
before
installed
that?
Bluetooth,
Okay, so it's an interface.
but it's an
of some
interface
kind.
with that. Yeah, it might be just better to leave it factory.
Well,
but there is a guy.
What year is it?
It's an
04.
04. Actually, it might be an 05.
Okay.
But I did reach out to Litke, the clusters guy.
Yeah.
So he can put a new LCD screen on the instrument cluster because that started to get really dim when it was cold. And then also the screen, I can send it to Lithuania and the guy will put a new processor in it
Oh wow.
for a few $100.
Yeah.
So I might do that, but I was just curious because it has 2 batteries and it's
Jesus.
like, it's old school. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
His car might be. Do you have 2 batteries in yours? Toyotas are usually generally a little bit.
No, I think
Less
it's pretty
complicated,
just
yeah.
the one under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volkswagens and Audis are so fucking
Yeah.
BMWs
And especially-
too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
German shit.
Well, and it's like a weird like one-off car. It's not like it shares anything with anything else, right?
It's the
Is it the same as like an A
Bentley
like,
Continental GT.
Yeah, and even those were weird.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So
sure
I'll hit you up
something-
on that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I won't. I'll probably more realistically want you to do the A4, or we'll figure something
No,
out on that.
What got us on your Phaeton? I felt like we were in the middle of talking about something.
We're talking about the car audio, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I
how
don't know.
the transfer.
I think we were just talking about this just I was just thinking his car, and then I was like the VIP shit,
big
you know,
body.
body.
Stuff I wanted.
And
to do
I was
for
like
fun,
integration.
Oh yeah. He's
yeah.
like, oh, do you want to do a Phaeton?
You want to do a Phaeton?
Yeah.
It was kind of a joke, actually, but the audio is not the worst in it, but it's pretty. You should see how dated everything is, because this is supposed to be like this was like the technological marvel of 04 or 05. And I was trying to drive it down the highway, you know, and it's like trying to fuck with the radio. And it's like everything's in there like a new car. You know what I mean? It's like the screen.
But it's very clunky.
But it's like buttons, not touchscreen. It's an LCD screen.
You know, I feel like I keep stumbling across this. Like, newer stuff, like just with all the smooth shit, I just hate it.
Yeah, me too.
And like, I'm driving the Passat. So the Passat... Oh, wait, so it's got all the, like, right on the edge of having a lot of features, like backup sensors and front sensors, but it's still got, like, switches and knobs and stuff, so it feels normal. It just needs, like, a little bit of an update.
Are you going to do a new radio, or do you already have one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Kenwood?
he's got 2 subs in it.
Yeah.
Did you do the Kenwood in that, too?
Yeah, so I put a 10-inch, so the new trend in car audio is, like, they call them like Halo style radios, where like the screen actually floats out from the dash a little bit.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw it.
Yeah, I don't like that look, so I made custom brackets and I made the 10-inch screen sit flush on the dash
behind the factory trim.
It's just in front of the trim, because it's actually bigger than the OEM trim, but just by a hair. So I did the same thing like in Jen's Beetle.
Yep.
I took a 9-inch one and I opened up the OEM trim, so it looks like a factory Beetle trim on those newer ones.
That's cool.
And I did the same radio in my GTI, but the same idea. It's just a hair bigger than it, so it just floats above it. But it looks really sleek.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to see the Passat. I want to see all your cars actually, because I feel like I saw the Passat when we went to Dust Off, but I didn't really get to like drive in it or
now I got
listen
a
to
set
the
of
audio.
19-inch
I forget what they are.
Audi rotors.
Yep, the rotors. Yep.
So I repainted them.
Yep.
And they came out really good.
What'd you do for a color?
I had some metallic dark gray from like my Dodge pickup when I repainted the tailgate, and I painted the inners, and I had some Aero silver left over. From
it looks good.
So it's two-tone, like
so
like
it's got
kind of like the
silver.
factory.
Yep.
And then I had some leftover satin clear from something else. So I satin cleared
Nice.
them. I don't have any pictures of them. Actually, you sent me a picture.
Yeah, I sent you pictures. It's with us. It's going to be deep now, but
Yeah.
we've been going
Trying to
back
think
and
if I
forth
got
for
any.
like 2 weeks.
That's cool though. I mean,
I'll show you once we're done. I'll dig through my phone.
I put
and
them
get some
on.
stuff.
I came here, took pictures, sent it to him, and I said, hey, you're going to have to raise up the rear.
Yeah, I brought the rear up a little bit.
What'd you run for a tire?
245, 35.
Ooh,
I
that's
think
kind of decent.
I think because it's all-wheel drive, the rear track is noticeably wider than the front.
Yeah.
And I think it's got to be something to do with the rear. You know how they have those rear tabs that the bumper slides into? I just ground that away and lifted it up like a quarter inch. But no spacer. So it's a 19 by 8.5 with a 245 35.
Yeah, put some meats on it.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if you listened, but I picked up a 2014 CC, which is basically
similar.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
It's just updated.
Yep.
And it has like the frameless doors, so it has like just the glass, so it doesn't have like that.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the Passat. I don't know. I think I like it more, man. You shut the door and it's just like, you know, and it's just
You
solid.
actually hear the seal.
Yeah, and like the CC's definitely more. So it has like massage seat, and it has like perforated leather, and like it's much newer. Like so, the infotainment's way different and everything.
So that's like earlier we were saying, like Mike thinks like the Mark 5 is the pinnacle. I think the beginning of Mark 6 is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
I feel like the later ones where they came out with that the ABA like Mark 6s in the rear beam.
Yeah. Yeah.
When was that? Like 14?
I think it was 13.
Like the first like 2-3 years of the Mark 6, like the Jettas,
The Jettas.
They did
So
make a
the problem
2012 Jetta that had the beam. Yeah.
All the all the Mark
GLIs.
6 non-GLI Jettas were all beam.
But yeah, like the
Like-
GTIs, the Rs,
Yeah.
those like I like that better than a Mark 5.
Mark 6. So the Mark 6 Golf R was an exception though for the Mark 6, because the Mark 6, I had a Mark 6 GTI, and compared to a Mark 5 GTI, like Jay's Mark 5 GTI, I mean, you lost the aluminum front subframe. You lost the front HIDs. Well, some of them had
Depending,
HIDs.
depending. Mine has halogens.
The bucket seats, though. The
Yes.
leather bucket seats. The way the car electrically was constructed, the Mark V was much more complex.
Really?
I think so. I think the networking was a little bit more complex. I think it was a good thing that they simplified it a little bit because the Mark VI was a little less. Mark V's also had the door skins that could be replaced all the way around the doors. There was just some features that it was more like a Touareg or a Passat B6.
Okay.
Whereas the Mark VI was more, I guess, where they probably were less expensive to build.
Okay. I could see that.
You know what I mean?
So,
like a premium.
Some of the things to me are like the interiors, like on the Mark VI, just it felt a little more refined, even though like
maybe a better design.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like I feel like
maybe the infotainment stuff.
The build
stuff,
quality on the interior of a Mark V was maybe a little better, but the design of the sixes I think flows a little better.
Yeah.
And then they did that weird shit where like a Mark VI wagon has like the Mark V doors, but the Mark VI dash and the body lines.
Oh yeah, because they
don't go together.
That was weird.
Yeah, they didn't change anything.
I don't know. I think my favorite generation was, I would say, I think as a driver, modern day driver, has been the Mark 7. The Golf R is absolutely unbelievable.
They say the 7.
It has everything.
Like
I get in,
selling.
my phone connects, but it's not like some huge screen. It drives awesome. It's still a 6-speed, analog gauges. You know, I know the digital dash is nice because I drove the sales manager. He has I think it's a 19.
7.5.
7.5. So with the DSG tune and everything, and it's a little bit. My car is way faster, obviously, because I built it, and I also just love shifting it. Like the clutch and everything feels amazing. So personally, like I love the Mark IVs because they were Legos, and you could just
same with Mark IIIs.
Mark IIIs
interchangeable.
I had them.
Everything.
I like Mark IIIs a lot. It's just you can't find them like accessibility wise. Like you have to build it if you want to build it. Same with Mark IIs now, and Mark IIs are fetching like so much money. Honestly, all the old Volkswagens are so much money now. Like
I looked up the MSRP on my '86 Golf. It's a straight base model, 2-door, no sunroof. It was $7,100.
What?
Yeah,
but like
it's crazy.
People are asking more money than what they were brand new.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like obviously, they're not factory anymore, but.
Well, this is how you know you're getting old. Like I remember transitioning from like a GLX was like a $20,000 like car, like new, loaded, and you're like, damn, you got that car. To like it was you could buy like a beat one for like $500 for like parts to beat around, and now they're back up to like 20-30 grand for like just kind of okay.
Yep.
Like Mark III.
Yeah, something that you may or may not have
through like a
lost.
full cycle of things.
Yeah, they're just.
Have you seen like? Bring a Trailer, has anybody had like a perfect GLX or a GTI VR6?
Oh, I'm sure they're on there.
Yeah,
I feel like I see a lot of Mark IIs go for 16 valve stuff, big bumper, or some. I've seen a couple of Mark IIs on Bring a Trailer that really fetched a lot of money. Yeah, definitely around. I mean, after COVID, I felt like prices just went through the roof, everywhere. And then everybody was like, "Oh, my shit's worth all this money," and it's kind of tapered off. But
I wouldn't disagree with that. But yeah, my cheapness won't let me look at Bring a Trailer and take those prices seriously. I'm like, if I'm going to spend that much money, I would buy a shitbox, build it myself, and have it exactly the way I want, and know that it's perfect.
Yep, I agree. That's like
that's for people who have disposable money that don't know how to build a car.
Yeah. I think, but when we talked about it earlier. If you want to build a car and you have to pay somebody to do it, it could cost you $100,000 to $200,000.
But I'm going to be doing it.
Exactly. It's your time. It's your time and your knowledge that makes you. And it's funny because I know a lot of people in the automotive industry who hate cars, and I don't get it because it's like why did you do it in the first place? Because it's not a great business. Like,
Yeah.
unless you're creating advantages for yourself to have those opportunities where you can own the cars that you've always wanted to own or build the cars you've always wanted. Why the fuck are you doing it? Why are you fixing cars?
Well,
Why
that's the thing, and I'm sure you have these days. Like, there'll be days where I'm just like, at the end of the day, I'm like, why the fuck am I still doing this? And I'll go home and I'll sit there, have something to eat, and I'm just like, I mean, every job's gonna fucking suck, but I get to build cool shit. I get to have this ridiculous stereo system that most people can't even afford to get because they can't, pay for it and pay me to do it. Like, there's ups and downs to everything, and everybody's job sucks. Whose job
matter.
doesn't suck?
Yeah.
Do I like what I'm doing? Take all the bullshit that comes with dealing with people aside. Like, do I like what I'm doing? Yeah.
That's how I feel.
If
I
you-
actually like working on cars.
Yeah, I love working on cars.
There's
if
just
you could
days.
wean out everyone who didn't have pride in their work, though, do you think? I think that this industry would be much better, and it would be non-existent.
It would
almost,
be
probably.
100% not.
Yeah, you'd wipe out like
70%.
90% of the people because everybody just wants a job. And like, even me, like, there's some days where like I just want to go to
Yeah,
work.
but you never compromise. I know
No, you're right.
because you have pride in what you're doing as a
Yes.
career,
Yes.
as a trade, as a person. And I think
fight with myself to be like, God, I could just fucking throw this together right now and just get this thing out of here, and nobody would ever know. But I'm like, I would know.
exactly.
It fucking kills me. And I see it. I find, and that's where, like, as a boss, like, I'll look at my guys and I'll find something that I'm not happy with, and I go, is there anything legitimately wrong with this, or is it just not what I would want it done?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And I look at it from a customer standpoint. And I ask myself this all the time. And me and my partner Jamie, I go, if somebody came to you and complained about this, could you justify that that their complaint is not legit? And if you can't, then we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, can't we just get this together? Like, okay, so the
Well, that's the salesman. side
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, that's the
Like,
salesman.
just get it down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's trying to deliver it and get
well,
paid.
okay,
Get
so
it
that's what happened, and the two of us it's funny, we joke we're like an old married couple because I've been working with him longer than I've been married. Fuck. So the Beetle, if it wasn't on this episode, it was on the last one we were talking about. After I told the salesman that was dealing with it, listen, you need to go and tell this customer that they probably are going to be in it for another hour's worth of troubleshooting for me to find out where this current draw is coming from. Jamie came down to me. He's like, well, can't you just like omit the OEM fuse and just run a new power wire right from the battery to power the radio? I'm like, yeah, I could. And in theory, if that's our backup plan, I get it. But wouldn't you want to know what the problem is and just fix the actual problem?
What if that fuse powered other
So
things
that's what I
in
said.
the
I'm
car?
like, I can't see anything in the diagrams right now that it powered.
Yeah, but it's Volkswagen.
Well, and that's what I said. I'm like,
You don't want to just cut out a
like,
fuse, dude.
I'm like,
Yeah, you'd never know what that's going
there
to.
is a current draw. It's significant. It's not just like he's like, well, what if it's just like a shorted wire? I'm like, a shorted wire isn't going to cause like a half
No,
amp draw.
no.
There is something in there that
would
I
cause a
need-
blown fuse.
I need to find. I'm like, you need to at least give me an hour to dig a little deeper, look through the diagrams, and I'll find something. He's like, okay, fair enough. But yes, that's the balance that we strike with.
That's good though, because as long as you guys have open communication,
I'm like, fine. If I can't solve this thing and we're an hour into it and the customer doesn't want to pay for it and they just need a working radio, fine. We'll omit the fuse. It is not how I would want it to leave here. But like, they came in with a problem. I want to tell them what the solution to the problem is. It's fine if I tell them what the solution is and they say like, do this hack solution. I'm like, okay, I'm telling you, I don't agree with it. But
yeah,
if
but
you want to pay me,
you're
to
the
do
owner,
Yeah.
so you have to.
Yep.
So that's the other.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, because I think a lot of people, like, these techs get into these shops and they don't have a lot of stock in the game. They're like, okay, well, if you tell me to do this, I'm gonna do it, and
Yeah.
I don't care if it's half-assed.
Especially new ones that don't have any experience.
Yeah.
And that's
And that's the thing. So I have guys that are like they'll cut corners, and I have to ride that line with like, okay, are you cutting corners just to get the job done and make everybody happy? And is the corner like, is it really a problem?
Do you have anybody that's close to your level, or do you think that
The
you
guy
could-
who does my radar detectors,
that guy?
him, and the guy that we recently hired back, Norm.
Yeah.
He's been doing a sandblasting thing, like I said earlier, for a while. So he's just rusty.
Yeah.
He can do all the
But
same.
they have the same level of attentiveness and pride.
No,
in work.
I think I'm probably like way OCD for them, but they're both really, really good guys.
Do you think you could find somebody to fill your spot if you wanted to step away from the business?
No.
It's a dying breed, man.
It is.
And especially with the custom stuff. I have to hand it to you, man. It's so much more involved. And
I mean, when he built the trunk, and like I'm asking about stuff, and I'm looking at like the height of where it is, and I go, you like took in every account of like where it sits, where it goes, and like to build the floor after. I go, it's like at the exact height, and he's like, yeah. He's like, I measured everything.
Well, and the thing was, so with Al's, the mistake wasn't a big deal. So I'm drawing this thing out in layers, but I'm looking at it in 2 dimensions, and I just know that this line is here and this one's. So I made my measurements, and where this came in, there was a couple little notches that I didn't account for, and that's not a big deal. That happens all the time. I can grind it, or I can just notch. Yeah. But what I didn't account for was that the floor actually tapered up a little more than the piece, which again, if it wasn't a ported box, it wouldn't have been a big deal, because I would have just cut the floor off and it would have had a little bit of an angle in the middle of it. Not a big deal. You can kind of wing this stuff as you're going.
Yeah.
But I'm calculating these little notches needing to have the floor height inside the box the same height while offsetting for the angle in the bottom, and having this one not being exactly a 90, maybe being like 10 degrees over. So I'm kind of like figuring all this out on the fly as we're going. And then, like I said earlier, that box cutout should have been like whatever, 11 and a 16th, and I did 11 and 5/8 because I forgot a 0. But it's all CNC. I didn't catch it until the end.
he was probably just happy that there was subs in the trunk.
I mean, at the end of the day, like when we were finishing, I was like, I'd probably never notice the difference. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, like, I'm looking at these graphs, like, I was trying to figure out where he's plucking the numbers from.
Even have a picture
That is a massive trunk, though.
Oh, yeah.
That is the widest trunk I think I've ever seen.
And I had
on
told
a car.
him, you can take up the whole trunk. I don't care.
Yeah, but
You
why
could
take
lay
up the
down
whole-
in that trunk.
Yeah, why take up the whole trunk when you can have it completely hidden? Like, who uses a spare tire nowadays? So
That's what I said. I was like, I'm never going to use it.
So he's got subs, a full trunk, and he still has 2 storage compartments off to the end. When we're all done, I'm going to make.
I saw it. Yeah.
I'll make a solid floor with grills over the sub, so you can still load it full of shit.
Yeah.
And you can just lift up 2 side panels.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the subs aren't going to be visible.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't build a show trunk.
Yeah.
Do you want? Do you? Well, that's the thing. Do you want functional, or do you want show quality?
Right.
If you're going to build it into the spare wheel well, I might as well make it so I can use the trunk.
Yeah. No, that's I'm more functional than.
Yeah.
So you've seen my coupe trunk.
Yeah.
So my Audi is the same thing. I put the.
You have side. I can't remember. Is it?
Yeah,
built
so-
into the side, so you can
it's
still use.
everything. So in the coupe, where the GTI rear 6.5 would have been, I rebuilt that whole quarter, and there's a 10-inch sub in each side.
Right.
And I have the rear deck speakers.
Right.
And in the floor, the whole floor is up about like 2 inches, maybe 3. And there's a storage compartment and 3 amplifiers in the floor. 2 of them are seen, 1 of them's hidden because it was an afterthought. And then I have the 2 side panels that trim everything out. So there's a battery on one, a storage thing, and washer fluid on the other.
Yep.
And in my Audi, so you've seen an Audi trunk,
Yep.
I put the H9 size battery in there, and I modified the battery mounting, slid it forward, and there's 2 12s in my trunk.
Where the spare tire was.
Yeah, where the spare
Yep.
tire was.
Yep.
I relocated all the electronics in the sides, so there are 4 amplifiers, 2 in each side, standing up on end. And inside, so I made the one panel that's meant to be open, and then I took the other one that usually has like a storage pocket. I made it flush, and you can still open it, so there's amps in there. But I lost like maybe 3 inches of floor height in my Audi, and there's 2 12s in there, and then there's a storage compartment in there. It's a little hard to fit like luggage in there because it's so short, but it's still a full usable trunk.
Yeah.
And that's more what I focus on, like showing off like big trunks like we were talking about earlier, like back in the day. It's just not a thing. Like I still want to be able to like bring stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, my partner Jamie, all the trunks I built for him are still showy. He likes it. He likes having a showy trunk. He's like, I don't care if I'm gonna go like on a trip. I'll bring my pickup and I'll throw everything in the back seat.
Yeah.
Like his, God, what? He still has like a 12 or 14. No, I don't think it's an M6, but like a 6.
It was a 650. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
It was a V8.
Yep. It was at the West Side show.
V10.
Yep. So
V10?
that twin turbo V8.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I did custom door panels for that one. In place of storage pockets, there's 2 6s. But his trunk has got like, a whole floor and crazy custom lit trunk. So you can't use his trunk in that. He had like
He could do a roof box.
Yeah.
Maybe some racks.
I don't think that's his style. He's got a very unique style.
Yeah,
all his vehicles are white and black.
But he wouldn't take that on a long road trip, probably.
Or if he did, he'd throw it in the back seat. Throw a suitcase in the back seat.
Yeah.
So he had a 14 E63. Same thing. We did custom door panels all the way around. Custom trunk. Couldn't use any of the trunk. And he just got rid of that one and bought a...
Did he sell it and get some of the money back?
I don't know. He didn't tell me the final price, but he said he made out really good selling his E63. Yeah, that's the BMW.
That's from the West Side show.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
That's the BMW.
Yeah.
If you slide left, right, there's a couple.
You
pictures
can't just
of it.
put luggage on the sides, or
Well, he wants it all showy. Like if it was mine, I would build like a cover panel that went over that amp, so I could still.
so you could just put luggage over it. Yeah.
So I'll show you my GTI in a second, but he got rid of his 14 E63. He said he got decent money for it. Somebody who really appreciated it. Like it's top quality work. Like honestly, if somebody came in with that car and said, I would like this system, it's usually like a $50,000-$60,000 system that's going in these cars. So somebody got a deal when they bought it.
Yeah.
And it's a well maintained E63 that was in mint condition. So he now has a 21 or 22 E63, which is like, that's it. I'm not a Mercedes guy, but that's right up there with like an RS6.
Yeah.
And he did all like the upgrades, so it's super fast. But
is that a wagon or
no? He's not a wagon.
It's a
guy.
coupe. It's a sedan. Yeah.
But same thing. He's got huge amps on the floor. 12 W7s ported. No trunk space. I still haven't gotten around to making the trim in it, but it will be like an unusable.
So what does he use it for? You think? Just car shows and
being
cruising.
Loud.
Yeah.
He's even worse than me when it comes to like he wants his shit loud.
Yeah.
And like I was saying earlier, his car and that BMW wagon that I just did are probably the 2 best sounding cars that I've done. The volume and the clarity, it's out of control. His car, I mean, we did 2 1500 watt JL sub amps, one to each of a 12 W7 ported.
Those W7s are ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's a shit ton of watts, man.
Yeah. I did a second BMW M5 sedan that's really close. It's one step down in the amplifiers, but it's 2 8 channels, a 1500 watt sub amp.
What is yours?
Subs.
What
output?
I got 1,000 watt sub amp and a 600.
Yeah. So channel wise,
so half basically,
like a quarter.
Oh
yeah,
dude, that's crazy.
So I think the rating on yours is it's like 900 by 1 for the subs, and 65 by 4, which is 65 for each tweeter, 65 for the rear speakers, and then 95 for the door woofers. That's a really good power split. That's probably the equivalent to the power that I have in my GTI. It's a really good balance for like entry level stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if he had like higher end components, you would probably want more power for them. But I think those Kenwood Exelons are very underrated for the price.
Yeah.
If the same price in like Focal stuff, I don't think you're getting nearly as good. You're like 2 to 3 times the money to get as good a Focal speaker.
Have you done like your home audio stuff as well?
No,
not really.
Like
no?
I have old stuff from like when I worked at Tweeter.
Yeah.
And yes, I built fully customized all the cabinets and everything. Like my tower speakers match my center channel, match the arcade cabinet that I built, but it's not that great.
What do you just movies and TV?
Yeah,
stuff?
movies and TV.
Yeah.
I'm out in the garage more than anything.
Yeah.
So like if I want to listen to music, I'm not like sitting on my couch.
Do you have a system in the garage?
Yeah, just like a big like monitor speaker
Yeah.
above it, but with a sub and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my business partner Jamie, he's got some really high end Focal towers that they're like the equivalent of like his car speakers, but he likes sitting at home and listening to music, and I just don't.
So let me ask you a question about record players.
I have no.
Nothing. No?
Nothing.
So Mike's dad, he's obsessed with old record players, and I've always heard, and this is, I'm sure you've probably heard it too, that there's nothing better than a record player, the sound. Right? Do you agree, or would you disagree?
I disagree. I think there is a specific analog sound to records that old-timey guys kind of convince themselves is like the pinnacle.
The scratchiness.
Yeah, if you really want to be an audio dork, there are high-end D to A's that are like $2,000 and $3,000 that will stream lossless music that are so much better for audio quality that you can have. Like Astle and Kearns is one. I think that's a level above my pickiness.
Yeah.
I think if you pay for like, if you really want to be like budget conscious audio, just pay for like a streaming subscription that does lossless, like Tidal or Spotify.
I will say, of all the audio I have in my household, the old record player I have does sound the most crisp over the speaker system that I have. So, but the Bluetooth sounds good, but I feel like there's some pureness to the record player. So I buy a lot of vinyl just because I like to support the bands, and it's kind of a cool thing when you have different colored vinyl and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's a phono preamp with like a Bluetooth.
So that's the thing. Like you have to match the components.
It's mismatched for sure.
Yeah. So if you have like a high end like home receiver and you're using some kind of high end like audio streaming, it's probably better than quality than the record player.
The Panasonic record player that I have.
But if you have like a high end record player and you're like somebody who likes the analog scratchiness of a record,
I do like the sound.
You can't compare the two. They're two different things.
It sounds almost like, I don't know. I guess maybe that's generic in my brain, but it sounds more like not genuine, but like just a very like wholesome, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the sound of the vinyl, like with the way that it just touches the vinyl. You can kind of hear every little bump and you know what I mean. Like
that's the analog kind of ness to it.
Yeah, like you get.
But like if you want to talk audio quality, I bet you could get as good a quality as that record could ever have without all that weirdness to it.
Well, sitting in Al's car today, I was like, holy shit, because I have only been in cars that have had shitty audio for the most part. And that just sounded so crisp and clean.
It's
you know what I mean?
amazing how clean it sounds.
And now that he's had it for a while, like he gets like, that's why I said like you're like just like at the bottom end of like good audio. There's so much above that. You know, like just like yours, like if you just upgraded like your Spotify subscription and did like the lossless streaming, it'll eat up a shitload more data. But like I noticed it, like I finally broke down a few years ago and just said,
do they have all music on there?
Yeah. So like Spotify, like I think if you're not paying for the subscription, the highest you can go is like 250K, and it was really like slow in between tracks. And I finally broke down and said, I'm just gonna pay for it. And now you can get lossless. And I'm like, wow, that's actually a noticeable difference. But
do you only notice it on, like, you wouldn't notice it with headphones?
If you had a high quality headphone,
like I have two pairs of Bose, but
I mean honestly, I have a nice set of Focal like noise canceling headphones that I ride for like when I mow the lawn or when I fall asleep on an airplane.
Dude,
and that's the thing.
Sometimes when I can't sleep, I just listen to nature sounds with the Bose canceling.
Oh, really?
And I fall asleep.
No,
instantly.
I don't do music at home for the enjoyment. It's a mix. If I want to enjoy audio, I also like I'm out ripping like the 3.6. And like maybe I'll turn it down and I'll
listen
to a couple of gear changes.
Yeah.
And then if a song comes on, I want to feel some bass. That's my enjoyment.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know my partner Jamie, like he'll go home and he'll like just sit in his living room and he has an awesome setup and he'll just kick back in it. I don't unwind like him. Like he's got a pool. He like just kicks back and sits by the pool. If I had a pool, it would never get used. It would be green and full of shit, and I would never use it.
Yeah.
I would, if I had that kind of free time on my hands, I would want to just, even if I'm just sitting on a stool in the garage, I'd want to be in the garage looking at a project. And if I can't get up the motivation to work on it, I just want to look at it.
So you're
think
like
about what I'm
Dan.
gonna
You
do.
can't just go home and relax.
No.
I try to.
I know, but
doesn't work.
I know how you are. Like
Yeah.
it just
Yeah,
you
every
can't.
so often I can, but it's usually like in between. So like I'll come home, me and Jen will talk, and I'll be like, all right, I'm not completely exhausted. I'm gonna go do a workout. I'll work out, I'll get something to eat, and I'll sit on the couch, and one of my cats will get me, and I'll fall asleep. Or if I'm not that energetic, I'll be like, you know what? It's only like 9. I'm gonna go out in the garage, and if I can't, I don't know, put together a plan, I'll just kind of sit on my stool. And I'll go, okay, when I get to that, I'm going to do that. Or I'll come up with a list of parts I need to source, and I'll start like sourcing parts on.
Dude, I spend so much time doing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, audio for me, it needs to be in the car.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
That's cool.
Those are my 2 favorite things.
I would like to add that
loud
to my
music.
life because I like audio
Yeah,
all
loud
the
music
time. But
and just ripping around.
do you go to live shows at all, or do you
not
you
as
see
much
concerts
as
or any
not
of
as
that?
much as I used to.
Yeah.
God, what did we just went to? One.
You just told me about it. I forgot what it was.
Oh god damn.
It was down at
Teddy Swims.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Not my type of music, but Jen
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah. Gotta go.
We got shafted. We got this awesome trip put together, and it was right on our 10-year anniversary was the show. It was in Hawaii. It was in the town that we were staying in before we got on a cruise ship in Hawaii.
Wow.
So we went in a day early. Went to the show. The opening act, awesome. So, something relatively local. And then he did one song and he lost his voice. So they canceled the show. And I'm like, get the fuck
Oh
out
no.
of here. Yeah,
Wow.
so he came back around. It was at Mohegan. So I bought the tickets again for Valentine's
So you
Day
guys
this
went
year.
to Hawaii
Yeah.
to see the show and he lost his voice?
Yeah. Well, we were getting on a cruise ship the next day for a week-long cruise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
But-
cool.
No,
How
that's not my taste in music. God, what was the last one we did before that? Oh, we saw Volbeat last year at Guilford. Guilford's awesome. It's small.
Yeah.
It's small, but they got like
I'm going Sunday.
yeah,
What are you seeing?
Jelly Roll.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What
No.
what kind of music is that?
It's country, but he used to be a rapper.
Yeah, it's like a rap
that's
country.
that.
It's a weird genre now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. That's kind of like what Teddy Swims kind of reminds you of. It's
Yeah.
like country, but kind of poppy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, good show. Not my
Yeah.
not my taste, but Jen loved it.
Yeah. I try to go as much as I can. If I see like a band that I like or listen to, I'm like, all right, I'll buy tickets.
You know, I feel like my problem is I'm always let down by the quality of the live performance.
Yep.
And I'm getting old, so I just want to sit there and kind of watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's why like certain like I feel like I'll
Like
spend
smaller,
more
shittier venues.
small shitty venues sometimes can be the best
Yeah.
shows.
I actually preferred going to Wally's than
yeah,
going to
like we've gone to
Yeah.
Aganis Arena, which was
Where's that?
Commonwealth in Boston, Commonwealth Ave in Boston.
Okay.
It was a stadium, but kind of like a.
It's like going
a
to
stadium
SNHU.
seating, and we saw Method Man, Redman,
Oh,
Jadakiss,
okay.
and Styles P.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were supposed to
I
see
could be in for
Freeway and like a bunch of other.
Yeah, Beanie Siegel.
Yeah, but that did not happen.
No,
And there
they
was.
didn't
Did
show
you
up.
ever get an explanation on that?
No.
That was weird. They just like didn't perform.
Somebody got arrested.
And
on
he
the
was
way to the
wicked
show,
psyched
or
to see
something?
them.
I only wanted to see Beanie Siegel. They
Tim said you should email them and
I
get a
should.
refund.
This is bullshit.
40
But
bucks back.
They were the opener.
Oh no shit.
It was supposed to be them, then the Locks, then Redman, Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
But
some old, like the first Redman album. Yeah.
And then we saw
Muddy Waters or it's
Wu Tang at
TD.
TD, and it was
Oh.
the sound was awful.
Such
was-
a big
it was-
place.
Was the audio was too loud?
Yeah, I think so. So like,
Well,
it
that's
was
the
tough.
problem.
Like, the
that's
vocals were too
I
loud.
say that's the problem with venues. Is like, and it's the problem with cars. So there's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
So there's probably a sweet spot in TD, and everywhere else, just if you get okay.
So I'm telling you, some of my favorite venues that I've been to
And that's probably why
have
'cause
been
it's a
small.
smaller spot. So the sweet spot is the whole venue.
Yeah, and sometimes good bands don't sound as great, but then I'll see them in a different venue and I'm like, wow, they sound amazing. And it's like,
who's doing their audio engineering that
exactly.
night?
So like
How much
probably
of a shit do they give about making it sound good?
I will say the Sinclair in the Cambridge, I don't know why, but every band I've ever seen there has been solid. House of Blues in Boston, not my favorite. Paradise Rock Club's pretty good. But I've been to a bunch of venues, and it's always weird to see like Worcester Palladium. You know the Worcester Palladium?
Okay, it's been a while since I've been there, yeah.
So they have the upstairs, which is a really small area, and then they have the main downstairs. I saw a band upstairs, and it was like probably like 50 people, maybe 100 people, and it was like the best. And I was talking to Kim's sister's husband, so I guess that's like, I don't know, my brother-in-law or something, but he has a master's degree in music.
Okay.
So I was talking to him because he really likes the same band, and I was like, well, I saw him here and they sounded so good.
Like music engineering or like teaching music?
Teaching
Okay.
music, like symphony
Yep.
type stuff, and he has a doctorate in music.
Fancy.
But we were talking about this band, and I was like, they sounded so good at the Worcester Palladium upstairs, but then I saw him at the House of Blues, and I was like, this band sucks. You know what I mean? Like, it was just funny. And he was like, well, it might just be your interpretation of that music. You know what I mean? Or is it just because it's a small venue and it's so loud or something? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Getting all philosophical. No, I would lean more towards it's just somebody didn't engineer it right, or you were in a shitty spot in that.
Yeah,
that
it could
thing.
be. Well, the House of Blues is, you know, it's a large venue,
Yeah.
so the sound echoes more. You know, so if maybe it's
Yeah, it's on a much smaller scale, but in a car, like cancellation is a real thing.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, if you sit in the driver's seat now, everything's engineered there where the least amount of cancellation is happening.
yeah.
You know, they time alignment, all the speakers arrive at that seat at the same time. So yeah, if you're in a giant venue, it's hard to make everything sound amazing.
Yeah,
that
especially
point,
if
you're
the
just in
band
it-
isn't that good.
Yeah, and if you're at that point, you're just in it for the experience.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Guilford, it's medium big. Every I mean, didn't check.
Were you
out-
on the lawn or down?
No, we were
Close.
second section back.
Yep.
Like,
Don't they have
towards the
like
center?
a big awning type thing?
It's kind of like what is it now? Great Woods, the Tweeter Center. It's something now. The Xfinity
Mansfield.
Center in Mansfield.
Yep.
It's like a slightly smaller version of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I've been to both. Yep.
That was fun. When I used to work at Tweeter, we used to get deals on concerts there.
Yeah.
So you could go into like you had the sales computer where like I'd log out all my jobs that I did. You could go into the backdoor system and you could see what tickets you could get on like a deal, and you could just buy them from the store. It was funny. I worked at Tweeter for such a short amount of time, but it felt like such a long time. And almost all my friends had a job there at some point in time.
Where was Tweeter?
Right outside of the mall, across the street
Nashua.
in Nashua. And there's one. What is it
Across
now?
the
It's like
Pheasant Lane.
yeah, it's like a Five Guys
So
now in Manchester.
the one in Manchester, yeah, Five Guys Verizon.
Was it it was near Daddy's Chunky Music too, right?
Yeah.
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 And
They
there was
were
a
right-
paintball store, X-Fire paintball.
Right,
was
yeah,
right
I bought
up
all my
there.
paintball
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
from that place.
It was
yeah.
like a one-stop shop. You could just have
Yeah.
a shit ton of fun there. That's funny.
Yeah, because when it was the Tweeter Center, yeah, we would get all the deals on tickets.
I worked at DW. I worked on so many places when I was like out of high school. I worked at Town Fair on DW. I worked at Valvoline. I worked at NTV. I was like, none of these places are good. Fuck all of these places. Glad I got the fuck out of there. But I did, obviously, DW Highway. That's funny. Yeah. Nashua kid.
Oh yeah. No, it's funny when you were. I told Al when you guys were talking with Doug. I'm like, I remember all that shit. I'm like, man, I'm fucking old. I remember all the things he was talking about building.
He's
Way
built
back
some
when.
cool shit. He still has a lot of cool shit. He
Yeah,
just sent
yeah.
me a picture of a Harley last night, and he was like, "Check out my new hog."
Jesus.
And I was like, "Oh, I could have pegged you for a guy with a Beetle powered bike." And he sent me one that he was looking at, and he said it's sold. It was literally a VW Beetle, like air cooled power,
yeah.
and it had the
God, those
transmission
things-
and
those things are the
everything.
worst. We
But it
used to
was
see-
2-wheel. It wasn't even like the 3-wheel. You know how they had the
we used to
trikes.
see, we used to see the 3-wheel ones at RJ's all the time
Yeah,
when we worked
yeah.
next door.
Yeah,
I could see him driving one of those.
dude. Yeah.
All right, you want to
I
wrap it up?
I gotta
Yeah.
go to bed.
Yeah, no, it's you got to work tomorrow, and I got to be at I got to be at work at 9 to meet Sean.
You know where I got to be tomorrow?
Nowhere. Lucky.
Nice. That's awesome.
All right. Well, if you didn't notice, Mike left about an hour and a half ago.
He fell asleep.
Yeah, he was beat. I forgot to mention that he was actually leaving. But all right. Thanks for hanging out. If you made it this long, I definitely did not expect to go 3 hours on the second episode.
Another 3 hours.
Yep. So you can listen on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon Music, podcast. Give us a follow. Spotify, any of them. You can follow us on Instagram. 3 Pedals Podcast, Carhouse, Mike, Send It, __, Capone, Dan J. Pendleton, and Ryan GLX 79.
And Boomer
Nashua. I'm going to tag all those on the post on Spotify, and I'm going to make a bunch of, I know you have a bunch of pictures, so I'm going to try to dig through what I have and
tell me what you
whatever
want.
you want to send, and I'll try to make some reels and some posts. And I've been getting real lazy lately about doing any of that. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.